Phantasy Star Online 2 is on Steam, and it's perfectly stable.
Perfectly stable, huh?
Yes, me and Brogan were able to play with absolutely no issues whatsoever.
Ah.
And we played from like 6 p.m. to, I want to say like 3.
3 p.m. Okay. Oh.
No, 6 to 3 a.m.
Oh!
We played all fucking day.
Wow.
No issues.
Okay.
No connection issues, no frames, no nothing. It was great.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
And we were able to bring our accounts from the Windows Store over to Steam, so we didn't lose any progress either.
I see. Okay, that's important to note.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, alright. Well, maybe I'll install it once I get my new computer next month or whenever the fuck it comes. I have no fucking idea still.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, we'll be playing Rise at that point, but hey, when we're done with Rise, we'll have that.
Yeah. Okay. I think everything is good,
And the casino is still fucking sweet.
It never stopped being.
It never stopped being sweet.
Yeah. Alright. Okay. Tweet thing. I got a tweet thing. Hold up. There be. Then we go. Or no, I already sent that out. That'll tweet.
Here there be tweets.
Right. And then we send.
So I see that this is turning into Vampire the Masquerade, the podcast.
Yep. Oh yeah. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it fucking is today.
Is it really good?
Dude, I love it. It's actually like great.
Sweet.
At least I think.
When are you gonna run us?
Whenever you guys want. Legitimately, I'm fucking ready.
Nice.
I've read like everything that I need, and I'm cool. There. I'm good. You know.
Cool.
And I warned you guys. I was like, we'll talk about it a little bit. I mean, it's been a while since we've talked about a system that isn't either D&D or Pathfinder.
Yeah.
You know, so or at least it's been D&D mostly the past few weeks. So yeah. Anyway,
I return to you now, the turn of the tide.
Ah, good. Well, welcome everyone to TableTalk discussion and discourse. I, as always, am your host, Alejo, aka Radon95.
I, as usually, am your second host, Aiden, aka ItsSneakyAdolf.
And I'm finally fucking done with Terraria. I got to the Moon Lord. I couldn't fucking beat him.
Nerd.
I know. It's fucking hard, dude. I got stuck on the Empress of Light and the Moon Lord. Just couldn't fucking do it.
Well, there you go.
Because I basically just ran out of shit to be able to get. Because, like, at this point, there's no better weapons available to me.
Yeah, oh god, I've been just playing Minecraft by myself mostly, honestly.
Nice.
It's been alright.
Just straight up Minecraft or modded?
Modded. Yeah. It's been fine.
Proper answer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, of course. Hey Draco Kraken, how's it going?
Yes.
So yeah, today is gonna be a different day, as I said before. We've been doing a lot of D&D kind of stuff, so let's branch off to Vampire because Vampire. Mostly because I have my core rulebook right here, and it smells great.
You know what we need to do, actually?
The first thing I did was smell
it. Once we do...
I'm that way with DVDs and games.
Yeah.
Once we do a bunch of stuff with Vampire, Aiden, you ought to see if you can get your hands on a Mech Warrior book, and let's talk about that.
Ooh.
Because that'd be cool, because I know you said you would really want to play Mech Warrior now that you know that exists.
I do. I really do. Actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. I wouldn't be opposed at all. Because like.
And then I hope Indigo Dragon shows up, because I have a question for him.
Oh my god. Well, before we get to all that, let's start off with comments that we got. Before I told you guys about one spicy one, but this is from August 3 on last episode, saying you three are the gassiest D&D podcast I've ever come across. Please keep a tracker for every burp you do on mic. For me, it's distracting and throws off the flow of the program, and distracting because it's almost every recording you have. So apologies for you.
Hmm?
Apologies for you. It's
Dude,
not.
You're gonna have a bad time as I drink this seltzer.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not intentional, right? Because we drink our energy drinks, we drink our carbonated beverages during the podcast because fucking thirsty, and also I want to drink that shit. And also, I just have naturally gassy at times. Oh.
Yeah, dude, I'm just fucking tired. Like, I'm an old man.
Mm-hmm.
By the time it gets to 9 p.m., it's like, whoo, I want to take another nap, and then wake up at like 2 a.m., stay up the rest of the night, and be like, shit, now my sleep schedule's fucked.
Yep, exactly.
But yeah,
I've
even just before this podcast, I just chugged a whole fucking monster so I could do this.
There you go.
So it's just a necessary thing I have to do.
I've seen it on Discord of you all of a sudden pop online and are playing Terraria. And
That's
I'm
true.
Like, this motherfucker screwed up his sleep schedule again, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
I didn't know that's what you guys were thinking about it.
Like, I see you're offline, and then I see you're online, and then I see you're playing Terraria, and I go, uh-huh.
Yeah, while you were doing it, I was like, he's gonna keep doing this until it's done, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, like, I got really far.
It
was this fucking sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah, sure.
I can't stop when I put like 10 hours into it. It's like, fuck, I gotta go as far as I can. But you'll be happy to know that I uninstalled it. Again.
Sure. So next one we got is from Lux Armok, our Longman commenter, as usual now. This was on episode 11 of Splitting the Party Can Be Good. Says, on alignment, not all chaotic evil characters are murder hobos, but all murder hobos are chaotic evil.
Mm-hmm.
If that wasn't the alignment they wrote on their character sheet, it's their alignment now.
Yes.
I won't kick a player out of the game for creating a murder hobo, but if they decide to leave because they don't like the consequences that follow, excuse me, I don't consider that to be my problem. The town guard is going to turn that character into a pincushion very soon. If they manage to avoid that outcome, well, you already mentioned revenants. Of course, acts of extreme evil are also a good way to end up in Ravenloft. I'm not above abandoning an entire world and turning it into a Ravenloft campaign. Of course, it's if a player persists.
I admire your dedication.
Yeah, if a player persists in acting like a brazen criminal in that setting, and the rest of the party keeps going along with it, a full wipe is probably going to happen very soon. And if that somehow doesn't happen, I guess they might become a new Dark Lord. On Splitting the Party, I don't really have the energy for it. If someone breaks away, we're just going to have to resolve whatever it was they went off to do, and then get back to the rest of the party after it's over with. And that's something the players will just have to talk about between themselves. If one group can agree to wait for the other one to finish, then that's what we'll do. If they can't agree, then I'm just going to say, as the DM, that the whole party has to pick one path or the other. I'm not going to jump back and forth between them. And I'm also not going to weaken any encounters I've already made because someone went off on their own. It was their own tactical decision, and if it turns out to have been a mistake, that's just consequences.
So I am slightly against doing at least part of what he said with the Ravenloft stuff, where it's like, oh, I got a murder hobo who's chaotic evil. He's a super murderer, and then I'm gonna maybe make him a Dark Lord. I don't know about rewarding murder hobo behavior.
Well, yeah,
that's the thing.
So I assume right at that point it's a different campaign. You know?
Yeah.
At that point, it's a different campaign, so it's like, whatever. At that point, we're not going to go
but
through.
What I'm saying is I don't want to reward that kind of callous behavior, at least in terms of, like, the world and story, because that's reinforcing, oh, hey, if I murder hobo, maybe something really cool will happen to this character.
Oh, okay.
Not a big fan of rewarding it in that way. If they're like, hey, I'm sorry, I want to... This character no longer has a reason to not do this, but I'm not going to do it anymore. Can we find an end for this character so I can make somebody new? Then I would be all for it.
Sure.
And then the other thing with splitting the party, I'm yes and no. Splitting your attention between two sides of the party can be very difficult. And I also agree that if they make the wrong tactical decision, that was just the wrong decision, and, you know, if shit happens, shit happens. It was their mistake to make.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I don't want to deny players the ability to split up if it is a valid tactical decision.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because he was saying, like, flat out, I'll make the characters stay together.
Yeah, no, I
You know
understand.
what I mean?
And I understand why he says that he doesn't have the energy for it, and that's fair.
Yes. And so I agree and disagree with both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I would also... I am more prone to allowing, like, 6 different characters to go off and do whatever and switch between them. And it tires me the fuck out, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mental gymnastics you got to play.
Yeah.
I am of a mind where I don't mind pausing the action so that we can resolve splitting the party up and like having each section handled on its own.
Right.
I've had to do it a few times in a city where some people were passing a night normally in a tavern, and some people were trying to do a jailbreak.
Right. Yeah.
And of the people that had their time normally in the tavern, I explained how they had a nice evening, had some nice drinks, the entertainment was good, yada yada. And then I had that basically on hold and on pause basically for a bit. Then I moved to the jailbreak scene, had that go horribly awry because they rolled low. So and like they've split the party a few times. They've done combats, they've done social encounters, they've done a bevy of things. But they still keep liking splitting the party, and I'm like, if you guys are fine with that, like as your D&D experience, I'm fine with continuing to do it as your DM.
Exactly.
It may be a bit before I can get to you, and I apologize, but just pay attention to the bit that doesn't involve your character directly, and that same respect will be paid to you.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, I kind of see that as, excuse me, somewhat similar to like Godzilla movies, where, you have the scene of Godzilla and fucking King Ghidorah fighting and being super badass, and then it cuts to humans. So if you have that really basic scene, obviously give that basic scene give it to them. And then put more focus on the thing that is more interesting. Because most people, like if you're in a party and one of your guys gets arrested and sent to jail and they intend to break out, most people are completely fine with being like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the inn and just do something like normal shit. That way my character can be doing something and we can put all the focus on them. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because this is their moment, the jailbreaker. It's kind of like when I had Zeke get quote unquote kidnapped. Spoilers.
Oh yeah. That's right.
And we went over what you guys were doing. You guys were at the card game tournament. And you guys did your shit. And then when we cut over to Zeke, we put all our attention on him. I didn't cut back and forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I also think cutting back and forth is totally fine to do, just because there are certain points in like a fight that you can pause at, right, to build tension, right? And then they have like a bit to think about what they're doing, maybe, or they get into what is happening over there, right, with the other guys. But it's one of those things where it can be used in many different ways, I think, depending on the situations, to either make that tension more palpable or make it be a little less tense, even. It's also. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. No, you're good.
Okay. That's also something you can really do well with horror, where you're walking through a hallway and then you shine your flashlight and you see like the hunched figure of like something. It's like twitching at the end of the hallway.
Yeah.
And let's cut to you.
Yeah.
So you
And then
right up to it. The problem there is that sometimes, as long as your players are all about it, then you're good. But if you have players that don't really understand what's going on, that can be a little bit annoying. Where it's like, dude, why are you cutting away from me? That's just happened. It's like, well, wait a minute, and then you kind of might have to like flat out say, I'm trying to build tension by cutting away.
Right.
It's a very cinematic thing to do.
It can be, yeah. It very much can be.
Or I mean, like, what I mean is, it's something that happens often.
Would like to know your location.
I missed it. Shit. What'd you say? I didn't hear it.
Game of Thrones season 8 would like to know your location.
But what I mean is, by saying it's cinematic, that's just something that happens very often in movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. So final part of their comment is, if a party decides it's going to split at the end of the session when they're not in the middle of a dungeon, then I'll design the next session's encounters around that. But I'm not changing what I've already made, and if the party ditches whatever content I brought to use, we'll either have to do filler or end the session. Which I can understand that if you've made a bunch of stuff, right, and then they completely like disregard nothing at all about it, then it can be harder to go from there, because you have all of this stuff devoted to it. And it always depends on the how you DM, right?
Yeah.
Like what your style of DMing is. If you can roll with that, then you can roll with that. If you can't roll with that, then fair enough.
I always leave that option open to you guys, but I always preface it by saying, like, I have shit prepared. And if you want to go off the path, absolutely. But just know I'm flying by the seat of my pants, so it might not be as good as what I've prepared.
Exactly. So, that is that one. Next is from Draco Kraken, actually.
Oh.
This was on last stream.
You're on the spot, Draco Kraken.
It seems that my bitrate isn't the best tonight, so I apologize for those of you in the stream. It seems to be okay right now, but I keep getting this notification, so we'll see. Anyway, so Dragon Kraken says a few things. 1, Alejo, I'm personally commanding you to use my money to get you some non-duct taped headphones. All right, well, you've told me now.
Okay, so wait, how much is Draco Kraken donating?
What
tier is he?
Tier 3, I think. Tier 3.
Okay, so that's 15. Okay, so it's probably gonna take a couple weeks.
It'll take a little while, probably. But thank you. 2, I feel like real life magic would be something that would be held in small fraternal circles of nobles and the wealthy, at least when it comes to spells like Secret Chest and Invisibility. Good, yeah, very well.
So that way you have like kind of an the aristocrats,
Yeah.
You have the aristocrats using very specific spells, more for like a not court, in that kind of setting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, more high society.
Yes, that's what I'm talking. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That'd be very interesting, actually. I like that.
On the subject of create food and water, Log Horizon had an awesome solution to this. By, as you said, make magically in-game menu created food taste like nothing. So it was easy to stay alive, but life for the players trapped was unfulfilling.
And the fact that society was founded on a cheeseburger with taste.
Right, yeah. However, people with the chef subclass could prepare food normally and make it taste good. It was actually a major plot point to restart the world's economy. Yes. Yeah, I remember.
Wow.
It was great. It's a really good fucking series. Like,
you have looked into it. And all the adventurers are like, holy shit, the food's amazing.
Yep. It was great.
Right by word of mouth.
Yeah, it was super good.
Man. Because, actually, I have experience with that. I came down with COVID not too long ago, several months back, and I did not actually lose my sense of taste due to COVID. It was actually an unrelated incident that made me lose my sense of taste.
I remember.
But I lost my sense of taste. Fuck, it was so hard to eat.
Oh, I bet. It's
hard to eat. Basically, the only thing I was able to do, reliably, was drink, because water doesn't taste like shit.
Yeah. I feel that, yeah.
And I was like, eating, if you can't taste food, it is so unsatisfying to eat. Because the sense of taste is apparently so hardwired into your fucking dopamine. It's crazy.
Yeah, I can imagine. On the matter of magical healing, my flesh warper was a traveling doctor trying to provide to people that that going to magical healing didn't allow for things like the creation of muscle tissue, because strength gain is tied to the tearing of muscle fibers. The body micro tears its muscles and then allows the muscle cells to grow and to repair the tears, making you stronger. Glaus then theorized that the reliance on magical healing is why fighting creatures didn't make you stronger, i.e. raise your strength stat, and in fact, it had atrophied muscles of the general populace, and the people should be even stronger than they are now. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
5. On the whole, ease of learning, remember all the way up to the age of Martin Luther, literacy was not particularly high in the past. Reading is something them rich types who ain't gotta work for a living. Something for them. In fact, the Catholic Church actively suppressed the populace from reading so they could sell indulgences and tithes. That's true.
That's very true.
That's true. Forgot about that. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's reading is a big thing for the actual realism of your world.
Yeah. Well, then you know what you do. you know what you. I know how you fix that.
Okay.
You fucking have like these big fucking I guess like stadiums worth of people. Like illiterates come in and be like, hey, you pay us like 10 gold, save up 10 gold a piece, and we'll cast comprehend languages and permanency on you.
There you go.
That'd be pretty good.
There you go. So last comment, also from Longboy Lux, last episode. All right, you want long comments? Cool, here comes one now. It took 10,000 years to write. Edit. And YouTube says it's too long. Guess we're splitting it up. Edit 2. Okay, you said that, but this is long as hell. I got carried away. Edit 3. So I cut some things, at least got it to fit into one comment. I think that's reasonable. We're in for a ride, boys. Here we go. So first part, because these are divided into sections, it looks like.
Oh boy.
So
when do we spend a whole podcast on his comments?
When he leaves more than 2.
Okay.
So how stats should be done is kind of a strong statement. You can certainly aim for simplicity, but that brings a trade-off with realism, and complexity itself can also be considered a virtue. It just depends on what you're trying to do with it. Excuse me. Oh, goodness.
I found that fair.
Yeah, you can go for simplicity if you want the game to be easy to pick up and play. You won't have to spend as much time mechanically building up your character. DM can create challenges more easily. It would make it easier to throw content together on the fly. Excuse me, goodness, I'm gassy.
Yep.
If your players depart from what you had prepared. But the system also affects how you can represent your world. If the base attributes are condensed to strength, dexterity, and intelligence, then you lose a lot of specificity in what you can show characters being able to do. A character with a high strength, or with high strength in this system, has to be able to both exert a high amount of force and to endure pain and physical punishment. You can't show a character who is physically weak but difficult to put down because he'll just keep fighting even when he gets hit hard, or someone who is strong but can't take a hit. If realism is the goal, I see a stronger case for expanding into more stats, not condensing to fewer. This lets you fine-tune your characters, giving them more precision to your ability to describe what they can do. Being able to pick a lock doesn't mean you have to be good at doing backflips. And you can be good at thinking your way through problems, but not noticing the details in your surroundings. Overall, more nuance. Very well put, I think.
Yes.
I think that's...
I think that, yeah. Yeah. Well, yes.
Exactly. Yes.
I'm just getting the fucking, like, bearded Chad image in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Exactly.
I want to disagree with you, but you're right.
Yeah, I know. It's all good.
My contrarian nature is making me want to disagree, but next part.
Right. TTRPGs are, as always, what you are trying to get out of them.
Sure.
You get out what you put in.
Yeah, absolutely. So, next part. In Shad's defense, if we are condensing our system down to 3 stats, it does make sense to me to use strength, dexterity, intelligence instead of physical, mental, social. Dexterity is a very different physical ability from raw strength. Being a physical powerhouse doesn't mean you can walk a tightrope or pick a lock. To be clear, I really think there should be at least 4 stats. Strength, dexterity, mental, social. There you go. Taking it down to 3 is just one step too far. But if you're doing that, I think social combines with mental more easily than dexterity combines with strength. You can think of social as social intelligence and mental fortitude in social situations. If the system is going to also going to involve a set of skills, then there will probably be a number of social skills you can pick to take the place of the social attribute. On the other hand, realistically, a character who is as dumb as a rock will probably lose a lot of influence with people as soon as he opens his mouth anyway, unless he has political tribalism working in his favor. And even if there aren't skills to refine this, it's still just easier for me to buy into a system where high intelligence helps a character navigate a conversation than one where high strength helps you to do something that requires finesse.
Better be careful. That sounded dangerously close to it taking a political turn.
Yeah, and I just imagined an entire human tribe, quote unquote, just of nothing but fucking stupid people, which is basically today.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And everybody, except us.
Though, regarding Kingdom of Loathing, Moxie works more like a combination of dexterity and charisma. So that system is fine. It seems kind of strange to combine those 2 stats, but if you think of it as a measure of general roguishness, it works. Okay. I still don't know much about Kingdom of Loathing or West of Loathing or any of that, but
you never played West of Loathing, dude? It's fucking
fun.
fun.
I know. It's on my wish list.
It's really good.
Welcome back, Dracker Kraken.
Yes.
We read your comment. I'll do the thing. Don't worry. Yeah, I think honestly, like, I like the idea more so of if we have to getting it down to the 4 to include social in there is nice. That way you can have that as well. Because I understand dexterity is different than strength, right? You don't want to have just strength, mental, social. I agree now that I'm kind of thinking about it more of like, strength doesn't correspond to you being able to do the splits, right? Like you're not going to be able to do that as much no matter how strong you are. I mean, you could force it, I guess, but that would hurt like a lot.
And then you're so strong that it doesn't hurt.
Right. But no, I agree.
I got rid of my nerves to replace them with more muscle.
Fuck yeah.
Exactly. So yeah.
That's a muscle wizard in you talking.
I don't think real medieval people would be surprised by magic.
I think it would be real medieval people would be as surprised.
I'll let him clarify it more, but it's just that one sentence. This is the next section. So, I don't think real medieval people would be surprised by magic. They'd probably be scared of it, but they already believed magic existed. It would be scientifically minded people from a more modern setting who would actually be shocked if they saw it. Of course, after they thought about it, the latter would probably start to think it was either technology or just some kind of trick. And the medieval people would probably think modern technology was magical. That's true.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's that kind of paradox, effectively, where it's like you show a caveman magic. Technology, and he'll think it's magic. You show a modern man magic, he'll think it's technology.
Right. Sure.
Yeah. So, I will say in regards to showing the medieval person magic, they would definitely be taken aback by it, and that would be in itself a form of surprise.
I would say so. Yes.
But like, they also believe that, like, what was it? Rats came from rags.
Yeah.
Like flies came from like I think it was rotting meat.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They were highly
like,
superstitious.
Yes.
Yeah, and like
and
the
before
way,
humors.
Yeah, that's true.
and like the way that someone disproved it was they put rot meat in a bottle by itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then sealed it up after.
Gotcha.
And when no flies appeared, hey, look at that, disproven.
Yeah.
How I will say, showing it to a man of science, he would definitely think it technology or some sort of trick.
Yep.
As with any society,
That's sufficiently advanced.
showing what is it? Any technology that is sufficiently advanced to one society is magic to another.
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's that classic little quote.
Yeah. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. That's
Exactly.
It.
Yeah, sure, that one.
That one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I also know another quote, Aiden. Do you want to hear it?
Oh, I'm sure I'm gonna hear it anyway.
Okay.
Is it gonna be the
quote?
The quote, yes.
The quote, yes. It's that quote.
The most feared.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then you already know it. Then I need not say it.
Ah.
Oh, I could feel it coming.
How refreshing.
Fear the unknown. What?
Continuing on, what I would realistically expect from a low magic medieval setting is not that magic is not that. Oh, okay. Oh my god, that it doubled. Sorry, is not that magic is mostly unheard of, but that it's widely misunderstood. Most people in the setting have magical beliefs that are completely baseless. People follow superstitions, use folk remedies, and hang amulets around their houses, but none of this actually does anything. True magical knowledge is possessed by very few who keep it closely guarded. Sorcerers may or may not be oppressed, but they rarely appear either way. That's fair.
It's like Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Where the only people that have magical knowledge are batshit.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
And dangerous as hell.
Forgot this was tonight. Just finished Color Out of Space movie. Oh, dude, slay!
Nice. How was it? Don't spoil it.
No spoilers.
I've read the story, but how was it?
No spoilers.
Ooh,
but is it
yes.
good? Please tell me.
Yeah, I'm actually like curious about it because it's on my to watch list.
Same.
Yeah, and I've heard that it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
The
Same.
trailers made it look good.
Yeah.
Anyway. Sorry to just dogpile on you right there, but need to know, man.
No, we need to know.
Tell me, your integrity is at stake.
Anyway. I mean, that would be my blind expectation. You could make a low magic setting where the concept of magic actually is unheard of by most, but that's a condition that would need explanation. Maybe in a world where alchemy is legitimate, societies become scientifically minded earlier in their development, the gods are more stingy about giving magic out to clerics, and a few people who stumble upon arcane knowledge either keep it to themselves or are largely ignored. Yeah. I thought it was entertaining and very, very strange. Perfect.
Good. That sounds good.
That sounds like what I want.
Yes.
All right, cool. Anyway, so yeah, with low magic stuff, I think, yeah, either way is totally fine. It's just one of those things where you have to, you either have to explain it like you said, or the whole people just use superstitious stuff that might not actually do anything, but might just because of the tradition, right? Because like
throwing salt over your shoulder.
Yeah, exactly. All the kind of superstitions that were previously, used a lot. Maybe they did something, right? But yeah.
And there's actually there's another way. Now that you mention that, and now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, if you had that where magic, it's kind of the unknown thing, and people are more spiritual, minded and stuff like that, you could actually have real magic casters hiding in plain sight.
Oh yeah.
Where they're doing their magic, but they're disguising it as like traditional shit. Like imagine a Native American like rain dance or something, or whichever culture actually performed rain dances.
Sure.
The Pokemon universe, rain dance.
Yes. Yeah. Using rain dance.
Yes.
Kyogre every day.
Yes. Or Pelipper. Anyway.
Right. Yeah. True.
you know, you have like an entire tribe, like maybe 80 people all performing this rain dance, and only one person is the one that actually makes anything happen.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So like any one of them could be this caster, and nobody actually really knows, except for the caster, obviously.
Right.
And they just do it because that's how they've done it. Like maybe the family line is able to cast this spell or make this happen. But now you can have these people who are like, okay, you believe this, so I'm going to disguise my actual magic as what you believe. That way, it's less likely to get me fucking burned at the stake.
Yeah.
But I can also do my shit.
I feel like it'd be interesting to have that be your world, and like the magic user knows a lot about a lot of different rituals from different parts of like the world, right? So when they go across the continents to other continents, even that they can disguise it in different ways, right?
You know what? If you wanted to set something like that on Earth, you could actually totally use that whole thing where cave paintings from different continents are strangely similar. You could use that. Or like maybe there's like some sort of ley line kind of web around the world, and magic users can like gain very, very vague knowledge from that.
Yeah, good.
Or something like, you know, they meditate and it's like, oh, I see images of like dragons, and I also see images of dragons that are like all snaky and weird, but they're benevolent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel that.
That'd be cool.
Hey, Mug. Oh, sorry your D&D game was canceled, but hey, glad you're here.
Dude, why isn't someone making a wizard where like their backstory and whole reason for adventuring is they're looking for a ley line, like a magical ley line, like nexus, basically,
like
of magical power to like make a wizard's tower at.
That'd be fun because that usually becomes the villain.
I mean,
and he's just going with the party. He's doing his thing, casting his spells, and just like, yeah, I'm just here looking for a ley line.
Yeah, exactly. And then once they
you
find
said
it,
that last
bye
time.
Party.
I still am.
Yeah,
haven't found it yet.
Still haven't found it. It's kind of hard. Yeah, no, that'd be really cool though.
And then it would help.
They twist and curve all over the continent. What do you want from me?
Yeah. It would also really help if the party was like fairly average when it came to like persuasion and deception and shit, and they're like leading the party. It's like, oh no, we need to go this way. The bad guy went this way. Turns out he didn't, and he's just trying to follow the ley line.
That'd be pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, right? So it's like misleading the party the whole adventure. Like, the fuck, man? It's like, what? Your research is more important than this fucking goblin captain, dude.
Next section.
The line goes left. Your adventure goes right. I don't care about your adventure.
Yeah.
The main concern I have with any setting's relationship with magic is that I'm not left asking why something works a certain way when I know magic exists that should cause it not to work that way. I need to either not have that question in the first place, or I need to have it answered by the end of the story. The other thing to keep in mind is that magic didn't suddenly appear in the setting during the medieval period, so the question to answer is not about how magic affects medieval society. The question is about how magic has affected society at every stage of development, and what kind of society has now emerged because of that. I want to see a world built around magic, not some civilization lifted from real history with magic dropped on top of it. I was going to write something longer here, but I need to get this comment finished today.
Right, so
there's still more. There's still more. First off. But anyway,
okay then.
Go on. No. I mean like another section, but we can comment on this section first. What are you gonna say?
Okay. So here's the thing. It makes sense that yes, the world would be slightly different if it had magic from the very beginning.
Yes.
Might even be radically different.
Yes.
And a lot of people disagree with each other on how it would be different.
Okay.
But the thing is, a lot of people have communally agreed that it's just more fun if it's the medieval world with magic dropped on top of it and a couple things thrown in for flair. It's also a lot easier to do.
Yeah. And I understand the, like, not having it be a question in your mind or have it answered by the end. Like, I don't think it needs to be, like, it doesn't need to be that deep, right?
Yeah.
First off. I appreciate it if it is. That's cool. But yes, I agree. Like with the way that D&D is, with the way that most fantasies are, it is just a medieval setting that has magic that is just there, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't really
Like-
change too much.
Don't need to worry about traveling from town to town or
Mhm.
place to place. Like, if you want to put in the effort for that, absolutely
Yep.
go for it.
Yeah, no, I think it's good.
As the DM, that's your prerogative.
Mhm.
However, most people kind of have communally agreed it's more fun this way. So that's what D&D has sort of become.
And I know this is in reference to us talking about what Chad was talking about last week when we looked at that video of like how would it be different, right?
Yeah.
But what he would be talking about, like, this is the other thing. He's talking about the if it was dropped right on top anyway, because like that's if we were talking about Pizza Funk, if we were talking about the world growing with magic, it would be a whole different video that we would have covered, right? Like that's a different idea entirely.
Yeah, that's an entire video's topic.
Oh, absolutely. Like we would have to go from
the continent in like a few generations instead of dozens.
Yeah, exactly. Like we'd have to answer.
I'll be right back.
Okay, we'd have to answer questions of like, was this always here, and did we have access to it always, or was it something that was always present that we didn't understand that was there, right?
Yeah, not to mention the level of magical capability.
Yep.
Like,
is it something that grew with time, like with us, right? Or was it always powerful from the beginning? Right?
Yeah, and is it something that is like limited? Like, is it like D&D magic where the effect lasts for like a few minutes to a few hours at like most for most spells, or is it something that can be very easily made permanent? Because you can really easily see the creation of like towers made out of very, very powerful, strong metal made with like transmutation and stuff like that. But if you don't have like the ability to make levitating platforms to like bring materials up, building higher and higher and higher gets really hard.
Yeah, and I mean it's shown that it can be done, obviously, right? Like,
yes,
there are plenty of real world examples of that. But
yeah,
it's one of those things where if there was magic, then what happened, right? Like,
yeah, because then there'd be like a lot of Burj Khalifas.
Right, exactly. I've tried to do what the world would be if it grew with magic, gave up around Persia. Okay.
Most people's games went actual medieval. It seems to be most medieval Dark Ages, but it seems more like, it usually is.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That's the thing with D&D. It's not any one particular area of the world or era.
Right.
It's usually like 4 to 5 to 6 all kind of mixed together.
Yeah. It used to be more medieval era with older editions. Way more based in medieval stuff. Now with D&D, with 5th edition, they're like, it is a nebulous fantasy era, right?
Yes.
It is both medieval, but also pre-Renaissance, but also Renaissance.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's a lot in there now, and it's crazy. Would you say Full Metal Alchemist is a good example of world that grew with magic? I know they call it alchemy, but I'm calling it magic. Oh, it's magic. You're right. Man, it's been a while since I watched Brotherhood. But I think I would say yes. Just from everything that they set up with it, I think very much so, yes.
Yeah.
It's great series. Also, if you haven't watched it out there, you should. Brotherhood, and not regular Full Metal Alchemist. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, you don't need to watch it at this point. There are some stuff in the regular one that's okay,
it's
but
neat, but
yeah,
but it's all like blown out of the water by Brotherhood.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Anyway,
the other oh, well, wait, no, never mind. I was gonna say the Dishonored world, but that's the magic in that is a lot more like taboo and shit.
Yeah, that's a different. I mean, that's a good way to have it as well, where magic becomes taboo, right?
Yeah. It's taboo and like very, very few people have it, but it makes you really powerful.
Yep.
And then you have more of the like the whale punk shit going on. And I can't believe that's an actual term.
Right?
Yeah, but yeah.
I kind of feel FML. You mean FMA? Kind of fuck my life.
I kind of feel fuck my life kind of had magic.
Kind of had magic. Oh, FML. Wait, what's FML?
FML. Full Metal Alchemist?
Yeah, Full Metal Lactates. Anyway.
Ugh. Now, actually, you know what?
No.
You know what's actually a cool world that had magic in it? I don't know. They don't go very far into the past with it, but they talk about it a lot. It is Saga of Tanya the Evil, or Yoko Senki, or Yojo Senki, or whichever one it is. And that is one where it's an isekai. It's actually the first isekai I ever watched, where basically there is a Japanese salaryman. Yeah. Basically, you know, just like an office worker.
Yeah.
And he's a real asshole to this guy. Okay. And he has this whole he's very humanist. He is a humanist who, you know, no gods, no gods, no nothing, no spirituality. We are just human, blah, 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 blah. He winds up dying in so he fires a guy or like denies him a promotion. He gets shoved in front of a train by said guy, dies, and then God is like, hey, you're kind of an asshole. I'm going to send you to another world so that you can believe that I'm real. And the whole time, he's like, no, fuck you. God's not real. You are something, but you're not God. There is no God.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And so he sends him into the other world to get reincarnated as like a little girl.
Oh.
But he still has the mind of like the 26-year-old salaryman who's a fucking asshole.
Fucking weird.
It's weird. But it's not played up sexually or anything like that.
Right. Okay.
And
good.
So the way that world works, the alternate world, is it is like World War I, and he's sent into the body of a German girl named Tanya.
Okay.
And they have magic. So they have like magic guns, and they have these like flying apparatuses that allow people to fly around. So they don't have planes. They let you fly with magic, and you can you fire your gun, and it acts like a fucking artillery shell.
Gotcha.
And you have like these fucking M1 Garand or like Car 98Ks, a lever action or a bolt action rifle. And you charge it up with magic, and it can fire automatic, and it can fire artillery shells, basically.
Jesus.
And it's really cool because now you get to see how warfare, like more contemporary warfare, would be if we had magic. There's no planes, there's no helicopters, there's no tanks, because everybody can fire explosive shells if they want to. They can all fly.
Yeah, the only thing that I would say is, like, I think any kind of take can happen if you do, like, this world, but with magic. You could go any different way, right?
But exactly. But I still think that that's an interesting, because that's part of this question is how things would develop if we had magic. Well, that's more of a kind of a future version of it. Yeah. So vehicles might change if they were ever invented at all, because there was never a need to.
Well, I mean, if it's an apparatus that you use, then that is basically a vehicle, right?
Exactly.
But yeah. I kind of feel, so the full thing was, I kind of feel FMA kind of had magic that got rapidly developed / introduced, and that was what caused the war issues.
Yeah.
Full Metal Mommy Milkers. I apologize. Thanks, Ryan. Anyway, next section. There's still more. As Shad has a good start on how monsters existing would affect the world. Though, in defense of unwalled villages, it really depends on how wild the world is, which is what he was talking about, to be fair. If there are areas where the threat of monsters is remote, and 99% of people will never see one in their lives, they probably won't wall up their villages. But if humanity is scattered and monster-infested wilderness lies between every settlement, then those settlements will have their defenses. Yes. Of course, it should be considered that the latter condition will seriously hamper the progress of civilization. If extra defensive effort has to be put into everything humans undertake, then that's less labor for everything else, and more time needed for any settlement to expand. Also, instead of villages, you'd probably find people packing into cities as much as possible. Nobody will want to leave the safety of the cities, so those cities will grow until they absolutely have to send people out to establish more farmland. And once a farming village is established, it will also grow and grow until it has to send people out again. And because of that, I think I agree with you about war. Not just because more people will know how to fight, but because safe farmland will cost at a premium, or come at a premium. The massive cities will be constantly looking for places to put their population, and the prime locations will choose will be the areas where people already are. War over farmland would be near constant. Feelings of enmity between neighboring cities would run deep, and it would be nearly impossible to build a sizable kingdom without unruly subjects tearing it apart. So the world will probably be stuck in this state for a long time. At least that's how I'd expect it to realistically turn out. Most likely. I'm not going to demand that every setting do this. Of course, right. But
I would say two things to that. Okay. One, it would be that's a really cool starting adventure idea where it's like, oh man, population? City, there's monsters out there and nobody's leaving. So like every year at random, people are selected, go out in the fucking world. If you live, cool. If you die, we don't give a shit. You're gone.
Oh, okay.
The city's too fucking full of people. Get out of here. You know, and then that just happens to be the players. That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah.
And the other thing is it depends like border disputes and enmity between cities.
Yeah.
It would depend upon the rulers of the cities and also the land in which they live, because you could easily have a city that has lots and lots of wheat farmland and like grain and stuff.
Yep.
And the other one has a lot of maybe trees and forests and like quarries and stuff. You can really, really easily trade that shit back and forth.
Yeah, trade is something that we need to think of as well. Obviously.
Yeah, because trade is the linchpin upon which that sits.
Yes.
Because if the trade falls apart, then you have that situation.
Yeah.
But if trade is maintained, then it is beneficial for both parties to remain at peace.
Absolutely.
And hell, if the trade is strong enough and the people there like each other enough, they might go to war with other people trying to affect one or the other.
Yep.
If you have orcs trying to move into the quarry, the wheat town might be like, hey, you've got orcs moving into the quarry, we'll send you like a contingent of fucking soldiers to help deal with them.
Right, exactly. It's all about the political approach.
Yeah.
Appropriating that idea of forced sending people out to adventure and develop land. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, no, that's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's a great idea. I like it a lot. Okay, is Aiden back yet, or is he still gone?
Aiden!
He's gone.
Aiden, okay. Phantasy Star 2 is fucking good! Yeah, no, he's not here.
Okay, so. Well, we'll move right along. Unfortunately, he'll come back when he comes back. So, as usual, this podcast is brought to you by viewers like you. We'll talk about you later on. But we're going to start with the main topic today, which is Vampire the Masquerade, 5th edition, the most recent edition that came out back in 2018.
That recent, huh?
Yeah, right? It doesn't.
That's really good.
It's weird that like I didn't realize that it was so recent. In fact, I thought it was older than that. But this is good. I have been fully obsessed with this since reading it. In fact, starting a bi-weekly game of it that I'm running on Thursdays before we do things later on in the evening. But it's bi-weekly, so I'm not gonna get burned out, hopefully. But yes, so Vampire is really cool. If you don't know about it, it takes place in the World of Darkness setting, which is now but darker.
Yes.
Well, for this one, it's 2018 but darker. It has like specifically Vampire's lore has real world events that happened that made things happen, right? Like, hey, guess what? This book, before I go any further, fucking mature.
Yes.
fucking Vampire, and they even have like a content warning in the beginning that it's like, this is mature, this is not for childrens, right? It's for people that can take mature themes. There's a lot of stuff. I'll in fact read you the mature content warning right now, because I know that this is necessary for a game like this, I think, because otherwise you have no fucking idea.
Yeah. I'm sure.
So let me read this for just a second. For the past several decades, Vampire the Masquerade has addressed the darkness in the real world through horror stories. It has talked about AIDS, capitalist exploitation, sexual predation, and the resurgence of the far-right political extremism, religious fanaticism, state and private surveillance, and many other issues. This version of the game does not shy away from any of the above, and we believe exploration of subjects like these is as valid in role-playing games as it is in other media. Including a problematic subject in a storytelling game is not the same as glorifying it, and if you take the chance to explore it critically, it can be the exact opposite. If we understand the problems facing us, we are better armed to fight them.
It is at this moment,
This
moment in time,
this moment right now,
I hear, feel, and can taste wizards slitting their wrists. Continue.
All right.
Oh.
So.
Oh, you missed it.
That was.
No, it's good.
I can
Okay.
hear and taste the sound.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
What?
good.
What the fuck?
I'm reading the mature content warning for Vampire. And how it's saying if you include any of this
company.
Well, if you include anything, any kind of religious fanaticism, far-right politics, all that kind of stuff, you can explore it to criticize it and not glorify it, right? And they literally are stating that right here because they're like, it's okay if you do that, right?
I thought you meant like the D&D class.
Oh no!
No!
I was like, is Tasha is that bad?
Yeah,
right. So continuing, it says V5 includes in-world references and expressions of the following: sexual violence, political extremism, physical violence and gore, mind control, torture, abuse, imprisonment, and kidnapping, racism, sexism, and homophobia, to name a few. It's a game about monsters. Why are you telling me this, you might be saying? Someone at your table is not familiar with this game. Someone at your table has dealt with some of these issues in real life. Someone at your table wants to know that you are reading this warning and know you will be considerate to them as players, while putting their character through the ringer. In the appendix, you will find concrete techniques on how to handle difficult subjects in your game in a manner that is respectful to your players and their experiences. Calibrate beforehand which techniques your group wants to use. People have different needs, and not every method works for every person. This is a game about monsters, but it is only a game. Don't use it as an excuse to be a monster yourself.
Hey, cool. Gonna take this as an opportunity to throw out to all my dear listeners. Talk this shit out with your people, either privately or at the session 0.
Yep.
Yes.
Say, hey, throwing this out as a blanket thing.
Yep.
If you have any fears or phobias or anything that makes you uncomfortable at my table, anything that you don't want brought up for whatever reason, you can tell me or you cannot. Mention it to me, private message me, and like we can move forward with that. And like I want everyone comfortable at my table.
Right. Yeah. Totally.
And someone said, I have fears about this, and it was about dead bodies, and I was like, as a necromancy heavy campaign, like I will be sure to like handle it with some taste, but like And like I gave an example, and she's like, "Oh yeah, like that's no problem at all." And I'm like, "Cool, good to know." And that was how like I would adjust my campaign as necessary if she wasn't comfortable with that. Luckily, that wasn't an issue, so we were able to move forward.
Yeah.
But like, talk shit out with your players because they are all human beings. They all have lives of their own that they have had prior to meeting you. There may be something you're unaware of. Just say, want everyone comfy. Throw that out there, and what people are adults and choose to take, choose to handle, rather, I suppose, by sending you a message that says, "Please don't talk about this." Then you go respectfully, "Okay."
Yep.
And then that's the end of it.
That's the general thing that they're saying in this, which is good.
Yes.
And like again, that's why I wanted to preface before we started going into Vampire more that this is very much a mature game.
Yes.
Very much even acknowledges and plays into the fact that this is a mature game and that there are going to be mature themes. You have to be able to handle this, right? Now, not saying you can't play a vampire game that doesn't have any of these themes. That's fine, right? Like you can do a fucking what I've heard is that older Vampire was more heroic, whereas now they are going into more of the degeneracy that the world is, right? And the fact that you are vampires and that you are literally monsters incarnate, right? And what I like is that it's refreshing to see this say that, as well as later on in the character creation itself, it says like things like you can play a character that you don't believe the same things that they do, but that's okay. Like they are a character, you are not actually this person, right?
Yeah.
So I very much appreciate that because of the subject matter, because of this whole everything that this is built on, that they include that kind of thing, right? So I just wanted to point that out as something that I very much enjoy about this system.
Yeah. Alejo is not actually an orc, and I am not actually a Tyranid.
That's true. That's true. We might play those
not
armies.
Actually a Gene Stealer.
I might be more Necron, I'll be honest.
Oh, really?
No, I wish. Hardwired for hate. But yeah, Slay says Wizards needs to wrap everything in bubble wrap. It's true.
Yeah, it's really sad.
And thank you for the logo. I made it in like 3 seconds. It's purple. But yeah,
because vampires mean purple.
Well, the book itself is like a nice purple.
Oh, is it?
If you look at the art for the for Vampire's 5th on the cover, it's so much better than the what is it? The special edition. The special edition is shit. But the regular fucking Vampire book is great.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's very purple. God damn.
Yeah, it's really
I have a friend who was actually asking me, like, hey, teach me how to play Vampire when I had never played it. And I'm like, okay, send me the PDF and I'll try. So I have the PDF of the 5th edition.
There you go. So
the 5th edition.
So yes, let's start looking at vampire stuff. I will inject commentary as necessary with lore and other things if need be, but the things that we cover will probably give a lot of that kind of stuff. First off, since we've already talked about the mature stuff, hey, do you guys want to know something very interesting?
Yes.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. So, and those of you out there, guess what? Trigger warning.
Yep.
It's already happened.
Warning.
Right? Exactly. So
well, that's not trigger. That's whatever.
Choke. So Vampire, they've been around forever, right?
Yes.
Quite literally. go back to, well, myth is like they descend from Cain, right?
Yes, that's one of my favorite parts about vampires, that they
cool.
are the descendants of Cain.
Yes, Cainites, in fact. Descendant of Cain because Cain was cursed by God after killing his brother.
Yep.
And then he met Lilith, and Lilith gave him vampire powers, and then he made his second generation, and then they made their third generation known as the Antediluvians, who then killed the second generation and made Cain run away.
So the third generation of the Antediluvians.
Yes.
I thought they were the second.
No,
okay.
Third generation. I've talked to some DMs on character creation, and that many of the DMs that don't allow evil characters have told me that only evil people play evil characters. It's sad. Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
That's fucked. Well, obviously he's wrong. We don't need to say anything more than that.
Yeah.
Really. Anyway, so, I won't go through like everything about that, but the coolest shit, a few of the coolest things that I need to tell you is that the so vampires have a few factions known as the Camarilla, the Anarchs, and the Sabbat. For reference, the Camarilla is the basically a kind of government for the vampires in a way that they uphold the old tenets that were established to keep vampires alive, right?
Yeah, they
don't reveal yourself. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, aren't they the arbitrators of the masquerade?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so. They uphold the tenets of don't show yourself to anybody that isn't of our kind. Introduce yourself to the lords of the area. You can't sire without permission, otherwise you and your child die. A couple other things.
Part of the Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah. So they were upholding that for a very long time until a lot of younger vampires then went, hey, all of this stuff, fucking, this was made by vampires who are literally living in their own dust and think that the printing press is fucking cool.
Yep.
Yeah, right?
And so they formed the Anarchs. And the Anarchs are like, nah, just don't like show yourself to people. Just keep upholding that part of the masquerade. But other than that, fuck the Camarilla. Fuck what they're doing. We understand what a phone is now. Like we can, you know
that's hang on, wait.
Yeah, no, please interrupt me when you want. I can answer questions and other things.
What the fuck would they call what the fuck would they... Oh, okay, Volturi. Oh, thank God. Okay. Because when you kept saying Camarilla, I was like, fuck, that sounds like... That's reminding me of the fucking Vampire Council from Twilight. Like, please tell me that wasn't based
no.
off that.
No.
Yeah, it's Volturi.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, okay, good.
The weird thing for me is the lore of Vampire is mixing in my mind with the lore of Vampire the Masquerade.
Oh, really?
Oh.
And I'm like,
Well...
Actually, Alejo, quick question.
Yes, absolutely.
In the core book, is there a pre-written adventure or no?
There is a free quick start adventure. That is out
so it's in the book.
PDF. No, it is in a PDF.
Okay, good.
That you can get.
Because I'm just flipping through this book right now on my PDF. I just didn't want to accidentally read anything.
No. There's no. I don't think so. As far as I found when reading it. So.
Okay, that's good.
Yes. So and then the Sabbat is vampires that are they are a part of a faction that believes more in just showing their bestial nature more so, they're more powerful in that way, and that the Camarilla has really neutered themselves and other vampires by trying to hide themselves, right? And literally everybody, even the Anarchs, are just like, they're fucking stupid. They'll just get killed.
You are the reason why we're dying.
Right? Well, yeah, that's one of the reasons. In fact, I've been replaying Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. And that is based off of V20, which was Vampire revamped, basically. But that was like in the 2000s, I think that was that or something. Sorry, not in the 2000s. In like early 2000, like 2000, 2001, I think. I don't remember when it was published. But anyway, And there's a lot of good material that actually is very faithful to the
Oh
role play,
God.
which is good. So yeah, the Sabbat are a thing, the Camarilla are a thing. So hey, 9/11.
Vampires.
So okay, so 9/11 happens, right? The Camarilla is like, oh fuck, we gotta find those Sabbat that did this, because it had to have been the Sabbat.
It was okay.
Okay. So
yeah.
they pull all the strings. They pull everything they have to figure out who the fuck did this. They had to find if it was vampires that controlled people, because humans couldn't do it. Guess what they found?
What'd they find out?
Humans did it.
It was the Vatican, wasn't it?
No, it was just humans. It was just humanity in general. Like,
What the fuck?
Yeah, it
Humans
wasn't
aren't that bad.
right. That's what they thought. But then they do that to such a degree that they accidentally reveal themselves to the governments and the Vatican. And now the shadow governments and the Vatican agents are working together in something that is now called the Second Inquisition, which is badass. Because they're like, oh, vampires exist? And the Vatican's like, we were fucking right. We were fucking right.
We were right. I mean, right?
Mm-hmm. And so
Very Helsing Ultimate.
Yeah, so they go and they destroy the Camarilla presence in Vienna and Los Angeles, I think specifically.
Oh, man.
But that's the Camarilla presence. It's not the Anarch presence, because they also found and hacked into the Nosferatu-based network called Shreknet. And that was a way for vampires to communicate.
The Nosferatu are like shitty though.
No.
Why do they have a network?
No. They are very good. They are
they're
incredibly good. In fact, they're very good at getting information because they know how to hide and they know who to ask and how to.
They're the Skaven of the vampires.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
They're the Skaven of the vampire counts.
Yeah, they live in the sewers.
Yeah, but they have many people who are very technologically savvy, and they they've created the networks. Like for they quite literally have done this.
They are the nerds. They're the us.
They are the
vampires.
They are very much the nerds.
Same appearance too.
So they infiltrated that. They learned a bunch of things about vampires. They now have certain search terms that they look for on the web that vampires would use. So now web traffic is a lot harder to maintain secrecy on.
So terms like sex, vampire, blood.
Right?
And that was your fucking vampire.
But there are also a bunch of different letters in the beginning here, because this is
guys, we've been missing out.
I know. I haven't been getting to the meetings, honestly, right? The first little section is shown as a vampire sire who has passed on letters to his child to inform them of multiple different perspectives, and one of them is a Vatican transmission or government transmission, where it's a checklist of them testing things on vampires to see what kills them.
Nice!
And it's really cool to see that kind of documentation, and
it's very supernatural.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, it's great.
It's awesome.
This is it's got all that kind of stuff. Aiden, something specific that I wanted to tell you about is that you can take a flaw that is the counting rice flaw.
Nice!
Yeah! Oh, dude, that's my favorite bit of vampire lore.
And
good.
Actually, I'm actually near that section.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is it advantages? I think it's advantages.
Okay. Yep.
I'm not sure.
That's where advantages and flaws are.
Predator types. Predator
Yes.
types.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So I fucking love consensual list.
Yes.
Consensual list is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then also siren.
Yes.
I love siren.
Oh yeah. They're both great.
That's cool.
Okay, so for those of you out there, consensualist is you have to get consent in some way or another, whether that be you're some kind of kink lord that you're saying, I want your blood because I want to drink it because I'm the kinkiest, right? Or you literally are telling people you're a vampire, which is...
It'd be like, hey, I feel uncomfortable about drinking your blood. Can
Yeah.
you give me permission? I'm not going to kill you. Yada,
Exactly,
yada, yada.
exactly. And, like, that's a masquerade breach, and no, nobody really likes that. But, yeah, that's consensuous. And Siren is you have sex. That is Siren.
You feed it, like,
You feed
verbatim
during
is...
sex.
You feed almost exclusively during or while feigning sex, and you rely on your discipline, seduction skills, or the unquenchable appetites of others to conceal your carnivorous nature.
Yes.
But that's
great.
Super cool.
There are
now,
a bunch of different...
I probably wouldn't pick Siren, because, one, I would want to play a Nosferatu.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
I want to play a Nosferatu because I love the Nosferatu. Two, I don't want to have to roleplay that out.
Oh, you don't really, you know. It's just a text and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that in, like, why play Vampire the Masquerade to not essentially be a blood-sucking vampire?
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
right?
Well, so, I mean, it's just a thing of, like, how do you feed? Like, this isn't, like, necessarily going to be something that we play out every time, right? Like, we could. I mean, it'd be fine.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a roleplay thing. It's just that this is a parameter.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And
it would be as simple as, say, you pick Sandman, where you feed if they're asleep.
Yes.
You just be like, hey, I want to sneak into this house at, like, 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Are they asleep?
And we would have to do some rolls, because it's like breaking in is something that you can have as a skill. Yeah. So it all depends on that. They give you specific skills, specialties, and disciplines, like, and those are your powers. And then they give you usually a flaw and a bonus advantage as well.
Yeah. So, like, flaw repulsive, flaw ugly, flaw illiterate.
Yeah.
Hopeless addiction.
Yep. You could be a junkie.
Oh man. Dude, lose 2 dice from all pools when the last person you fed from was not on your drug.
Yep.
That's awesome!
Yep. There's a lot of very cool things that you can do with this. But do they have psychic vampires? Gwyneth Paltrow said they exist.
I mean...
she did with the water.
Did she?
Oh, yeah,
I didn't know about this. Okay.
Because Gwyneth Paltrow owns a company called Goop.
Right, yes. I know that, yeah.
Yeah, we know Goop.
Ugh. Anyway.
Yeah, they sell a brand of bottled water that helps against psychic vampires.
Oh, I'm gonna throw
Nice!
Up. Are you kidding me? Jesus Christ.
It's just tap water.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's like diamond infused.
Oh, of course it is.
That's not healthy.
They run it through diamonds, which diamonds are just carbon anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's nothing special.
It's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, Alejo.
Am chemist.
Yeah.
What?
Am chemist when I see bullshit like,
oh yeah,
oh, water is alkaline. Oh, it's so healthy for you. Oh, this was run through diamonds. I go, yeah, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
So, Alejo.
Yes, hello.
As the resident expert on vampire,
yep.
Tell us about the different clans, please.
Oh my god, I would love to.
Oh,
so,
yes. The Borussia, the Gangrel, the Malkavians, the Nosferatu, the Toreador, the Tremere, and the Ventru, and also the Caitiff.
This is the thing. These aren't all of them. These are all the ones that are available in the core. But there are more that are available through other means, other books, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you each of them. So Bruja, first off.
Oh, Bruja, okay.
Because it is derived from the Spanish word for which.
It's derived from the word brujaha.
Yes, brujaha. But brujas are basically stereotypical anarchists. They or they can be. They are some sort of anti-authority in some way, or sticking up for the little guy, right? Very much physically attuned. Their blood gives them the discipline. One of the disciplines is protean, potence. That's it. Got too many P's. Potence is very much a physical thing. It augments your physical strength.
Okay.
JonTron videos about it are great. Oh, for a Goop? Yeah, they are. They really are.
Yeah, I love that.
I saw both of those.
Yeah. they have a specific bane. Each vampire has a bane for their blood, because of they are descended from the antediluvians. So the Bruja bane is when you do frenzy tests. You have a dice. You can only roll, you roll one die fewer, because it's easier for you to get into a frenzy, fury frenzy specifically.
You're Angie.
You Angie, yeah.
Angie
boy. But so they also get access to celerity, which is about being, as I've said to everyone that I have talked to during character creation, being fast as fuck, boy. And then they have presence, which is about influencing groups of people, right? Then you have gangrels. And I know we were gonna watch videos, but at this point, it's just talking about this shit until. So gangrels are animalistic. They're very much more pack-oriented. They are very much more against what society holds for them. They are
kind of like primalists.
Yes, very much primal. Very, very primal. Usually now, because forests are a little harder and open land is a little harder to be at, so that you're not close to your food, and like there's not as much animals to eat. They are more so found in abandoned industrial areas or construction sites and such like that, right? Yeah.
So there's no more forests, so they moved into the concrete and steel.
The concrete jungle, yeah, exactly.
Fuck yeah, dude! Can I play a gangrel that like fucking swings around on monkey bars through the fucking construction site and then drop kicks motherfuckers?
Yeah. There's no reason why you couldn't. And they get access to animalism, which is talking and influencing animals, right? And then fortitude, which is of course making you able to take more punishment, right? And then protean, which is gaining the aspects of animals, right? Where like the level 1 power is quite literally see in the dark with your red glowing eyes, right? One of the level 1 powers is that. I remember when Bruja were scholars. Were they? Oh my god. Back in Redemption, the video game was cool. Okay, I have yet to play that. It's on my wish list. Their bane is if you go into a frenzy, you get an animalistic feature that reduces one of your attributes.
Okay.
Not your strength, but usually anything else that isn't a strength-based attribute. So like your social or your mental.
So does that mean that means like if you go into a frenzy, does that mean you like temporarily grow like antlers or something?
So you have it for 2 nights.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad to have.
So is it something that physically is apparent?
Yes.
And you can grow like appendages and shit?
Well, so it's more like that aspect is more defined, right? Like the examples they give are like a forked tongue will take down your charisma, right? Because people notice that shit when you're talking.
Okay, so it is something that physically happens. It's not like you start to stink like a wet dog.
You can stink. Yes, that is also an option. It depends, right?
So can my bane be I turn into a T-Rex?
No.
Okay, just checking.
I'm sorry, but no.
You're good.
You might get scaly skin.
Ooh.
And that
Although,
would
let's be honest, turning into a T-Rex every frenzy would get pretty boring.
But anyway, so that's basically gangrels. Malkavians are both insane but also not.
Yes.
They either had a pre-existing mental disorder or they had one that they gained from when they were embraced.
Fucking Jeanette from
yes, Jeanette and what was the other one?
Whatever the other one's name. I don't know. So let's be
I
honest.
literally just played this like a while ago. Oh my god. Anyway, yes. Spoilers. But literally Jeanette is
in that text.
Is the quote in the text. I didn't even realize that. Oh my god.
We're not clowns, Jeanette. We're here to amuse the kindred. Drag our club through the mat through the muck. Therese,
right? Therese and Jeanette. Anyway, so yes, they have that, but they also have the ability to see things that other kindred can't, right? And by the way, for those of you out there who don't know, embrace is literally becoming a vampire. That is the process, the name for it. Kindred is their word for vampires, right?
Yes.
Anyway, I'm just going to be using terminology occasionally. Malkavians, so they get at the they get auspex, which is your increased perception discipline, where the level 2 power is quite literally you can do a premonition, right?
Ooh.
You could either force it or just have one happen naturally. It depends, right? They also get access to, what was it? Oh, yes. Dominate and obfuscate, which are influencing a single person or hiding by becoming invisible, respectively. So that's them. Nosferatu, we talked about them a bit. They're hideous. They're always hideous. Your flaw... Oh, sorry. The flaw for Malkavians is that they, when you have a bestial failure, in addition to your compulsion, which I'll explain bestial failures in a bit, in addition to your compulsion, you also have your whatever your disorder was upon character creation. We would figure out how your Malkavian's disorder comes to the forefront, right? Like, instead of hearing voices, you now see them in front of you. Like, you're seeing words.
Yeah,
like,
you see like text bubbles, like Deadpool.
Basically. But that's now always happening for the scene, right? Until it goes away.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're really cool. Then, right, Nosferatu, ugly. That's their flaw. They can never be not ugly. But usually they're kind of nice.
They have the repulsive flaw.
Yeah, it's ugly.
No, I mean, repulsive
I know.
is
repulsive
more
is
than
worse.
ugly.
Repulsive is worse than ugly, but yes.
Yeah.
I'm saying in general they are ugly.
Yes.
So they are very good at knowing the sewer ways. They're very good at knowing homeless communities, right? Things like that, where they can blend in and try to escape the eyes of both the kine, which is humans, and then the kindred. The kindred don't really trust Nosferatu because a lot of them can be rats against other vampires, right? Playing both sides, if you will. And then
I heard you were talking shit.
Right, exactly. They get access to animalism, obfuscate, and potence, so they're really strong. They can talk to animals, and then they can get themselves to blend into the shadows, right? And then it's harder for them to become to make themselves look not like a Nosferatu. So there are specific disciplines in obfuscate, as well as the ability to try to disguise yourself as a human. And if you try, you have like as many less die as your Bane severity, which is tied to how strong your blood is. Stop sign is part of the network, is it? Oh my goodness. Malkavian's talking to stop signs and shit. Gotcha. Okay. And Tremere are some of my favorites. We'll get to them. But yes, so that's them. That's the Nosferatu, mostly. Toreadors, very much the art lovers, the ones who
they're
are
the
very
sexy vampires.
Yes,
basically.
They're closest to humans in desire and all that kind of stuff. They look for the beauty in everything. They look for the best, the perfectionist, in fact, in some cases. Yeah, that's their stereotypical kind of thing.
They are the ones who would most likely do the picking up rice or counting rice thing. Because they're kind of OCD about shit.
Be. Yeah, very
could be.
Very.
Yeah.
You could take that if you wanted to on them to make it thematic. Absolutely. Yeah. And they get access to Auspex, celerity, and presence. So perception better, fast as fuck boy, and influencing the masses more, right? And it makes sense. And then their bane is when they are around things that they don't consider beautiful, they get a penalty. And that's most places, to be fair.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it's not great, but again, it's all dependent on your bane. And to be fair, you could find most like indoor kind of things can be. It depends on the storyteller, which is the DM in this case. But the storyteller can decide how much it affects you, if it affects you at all, right?
Yeah. You would. So could you technically make a Toreador, who is like, I see the beauty in everything, and then
No.
just circumvent? Yeah, right.
No,
So
not really.
Yeah, you would kind of have to.
So what you would be doing then is looking for the true beauty of everything, right? You're looking deeper than the surface level, right?
Gotcha. Yeah, because dude. Oh, you know what would be really cool? I think it would be really cool to play a Toreador who goes around tagging shit.
Oh, absolutely.
And they love tags.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so they see all that as like, because they're fucking weird. They're a vampire. They see tags as like high art. Because it takes both skill, speed, and actual artistic and
talent.
Talent, there we go. Artistic talent to do it, especially if they're up on like the side of a building or something.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
That would be super cool, actually.
That is absolutely a valid way to be a Toreador. Absolutely.
Now I want to do that. Not the
There's too many things to do.
Yeah,
I want to play them all. Next up, we got Tremere. They are honestly one of my favorites because they are blood mages, right? So you can't do real magic as a vampire, right? You can't do actual magic. You can do blood magic by using somebody else's vitae, right? That's the only way that vampires can really use magic, and that's what the original Tremere found out after figuring out how to live forever. But he then was like, "Uh-oh, I'm a vampire."
Yeah. Pulls gigantic collar.
Yo, guys, hold on a second. Don't fall in my. Oh no, you already did it. Oh,
yeah, exactly. Guys, I figured out how to live forever. Oh no.
No, not like that.
Interesting fact, Vienna was the capital of the Tremere clan. And because they lost the Vienna, their blood is actually tainted because of it, which is interesting, right?
That's weird.
Whether it's the blood, because the blood is a living thing at the same time, right? You have both the beast and the blood inside of you, right?
Oh, okay.
I'll get into it more later, but so Tremere are very much, they can be either very much scholarly types, they can be authoritative types, they can be part of a pyramid or a hierarchy. The pyramid itself is the traditional Tremere structure. It's called the pyramid. And usually they're very selective on who they bring into their actual bloodline. If they're at least part of the Camarilla more so, and the pyramid, right?
You have to win a poetry slam to become a Tremere.
Right? So yes, they're the only ones who have access to blood sorcery, which allows them to use blood in different ways. Like, I haven't looked at the specifics for this one, but I literally turned to the rituals. Okay. Randomly.
Well, there you go.
So one of the powers is blood walk.
You can walk on blood.
No,
so can I.
It's
Am I a blood mage?
This ritual expands upon the power a taste for blood, allowing the user to learn more details about the subject studied, assuming the subject is a vampire. Oh, neat. So they do rituals, right? That's how they do their magic. Anyway, there's a whole section of them, which I should read at some point. They also get access to Auspex and Dominate, so higher perception, as well as being able to influence specific people. Which, oh man, I gotta tell you about a power for Dominate later. Remind me. It's so fucked. I fucking love... No, there's two of them. They're so fucked and I love them. Anyway.
Tell us. Tell us right now.
Okay, I'll tell you right now.
Because we're gonna forget.
That's true. So, Dominate is fucked. If you didn't think it was fucked, it
Let me
is.
feed off you.
Oh, it's great. So I love Dominate. It's one of my favorite fucking powers.
Do they make cows?
No. Well, so there's a few
Or
things.
sorry, human cattle.
There's a specific advantage called the herd, where you just have a bunch of people that you feed from, because you've cultivated them in such a way.
Yeah.
Human cattle. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So Dominate gives the ability to, at level 3 Dominate, you can get 2 different things. You have choices. Level 3 gives you access to the Forgetful Mind. The vampire can rewrite whole swaths of a victim's memories as long as they can keep the victim's gaze and full, uninterrupted attention. The vampire verbally describes the victim's new memories, which the victim then accepts as their own. This power does not allow the user to investigate the victim's true memories. It more resembles blindly painting over the old canvas.
Jesus.
And then there's Submerge Directive. When using Mesmerize, which is you can tell somebody to do something that will last basically a scene, and they'll go do it. It's suggestion, if you will. When using Mesmerize, the vampire can now implant a post-hypnotic suggestion, allowing the command to remain dormant until a specific stimulus occurs. This trigger can be anything from a specific date to a person, example, when you meet Roland, tell him these words, to hearing a specific phrase. The Submerge Directive never expires. People can conceivably walk around with an order buried in their mind for years. The user can only embed one suggestion per victim. Oh,
yeah, victim.
But, yeah.
That's fucking cool.
It's so cool.
And it's also the user, too, so you can have, like, multiple users on one victim.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, you could.
Each with like 2 vampires, each of which want to kill the other.
Yeah.
And both of which the Submerge Directive is kill the other vampire.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Old Tremere used to have the weakness of being bloodbound easily and were always forced to drink from the Tremere elders to instill loyalty to the clan. So they changed it, actually. Their bane now is that they can't form bonds with other vampires anymore, blood bonds. A blood bond is where you give somebody else your blood as a vampire, and they are now bound to you. They're like attracted to you. They're, you know, they are your servant more so, right? The fucked part about blood bonds is that you get to try to resist it once every week, and you need 3 consecutive wins per week in order to break your blood bond. But yeah, so they can't do it to other vampires. They can be bloodbound, and it takes an additional number of times to give somebody else, a human or a ghoul, their blood in order to make a blood bond, right? Because they lost their home city, and the blood is like,
yeah.
So Tremere are cool. I like them.
Yeah.
And then we have Ventru. Ventru are the leaders, the natural leaders in vampires. Right.
Unfortunately.
But no. Much cooler.
Oh, yeah, way cooler.
So the Ventru, they use their dominate, their presence, and their fortitude. That's the powers they have access to become like better businessmen, better, you know, politicians, type people. Like they are very much seated in that root of being the powerful one. They give commands, and most Ventru think that they are natural leaders of kindred society, in fact, because they're built for it, right? They, though, because they are all high and mighty, they have a specific palate. You can't, as a Ventru, drink blood bags or animals, right? And you have to figure out what your preferred blood is. Whether that be as simple as only natural redheads, I can only drink from them, or it could be only soldiers, or it could be only people on meth, or it could be only people who are homosexual, or it could be like Anything. Specific kind of thing, that is their preferred blood. And you get to have the ability to figure out if people have your preferred blood or not with a simple test. It's not simple, it's difficulty 4, but...
So now, is that something that I would, if I made a Ventru, is that something I would know upon character creation?
Yes.
Or is that something that, oh, okay.
Yes, you would figure out that. And then,
anytime... You know what I would actually...
Oh, sorry.
Something I think I would like more is that if I made a Ventru, I'd be like, hey, I don't want to know what my blood taste is. I want to figure that shit out. So you pick one for me, and then I'll investigate. I just want to roleplay that out.
So you want to be a fledgling? Because you could. You could be a very freshly turned vampire to figure out what the fuck you need.
Fucking, I'm down.
There you go.
But I'm not going to play a Ventru.
The other thing is, if you do drink from something else, if you do drink from something that isn't part of your specific palate, you can spend willpower to keep it down. But otherwise you throw it up, and throwing up is bad because it makes you hungry because you only throw up blood. Vampires got that MIB memory
not
tech.
Eat anything?
So, no. Yes. Okay. It depends.
So, like, I could, if I'm a vampire, can I eat, like, a sandwich?
So, if you have high enough humanity, you can keep it down, for an hour, maybe?
Damn!
With a test. If you have lower humanity, if you eat it, you throw up immediately.
So could I, like, does it taste bad?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's bad.
So it tastes like shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Real
because
food.
I was gonna be like, man, I just want to play my. I want to fucking play my fucking.
Real food
Toreador.
is just ash. Like, basically just ash to you. Yeah.
Man, I just want to, like, it's like, hey, can I fucking... I'm
No
gonna
one
go to the
likes
Subway and grab a sandwich and just fucking chew it, and then just, like, spit it out. That way I don't have to fucking vomit it up.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Yeah, no, you will eventually have to throw it up, though.
Oof.
Like, because you cannot have it in your system.
Oof.
And,
what if it's sausage?
So actually, okay, so I was gonna say, there is an advantage, or no, a flaw that you can take, that is, you eat, very blood-filled organs, and that's how you get your food.
Yeah! Sweet!
So, but it's like hearts, it's like, livers, all that kind of stuff, where it has to be very much blood-fed, organs, and they have to be people. That's the thing. Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I just want to go to the store and get a whole bunch of fucking cow hearts, and I'm like, why the fuck are you ordering all these cow hearts?
Yeah.
No reason.
Well, okay, so it could be animals if you have the ability to eat from animals, but if you have higher blood potency, you can't eat from animals as much or at all. In fact, it doesn't give you sustenance.
This sounds really inconvenient to be a fucking vampire, my dude.
Yes, it is. But it's also very easy
to get some water.
It's also very easy to get
blood.
prey.
Hang
on. But yeah. Okay, there's other things to talk about as well, and we'll get to them. But yeah, once he comes back, we can talk about the other two clans, technically, that you can be. Yeah, man. Fucking... It's very inconvenient to be a vampire. It's like, oh, you don't say.
In a society built by humans, being something that's not a human is inconvenient.
You don't
Who'd have thought?
Okay.
So, yeah, there's a few different things on humanity as well. Like, if you were at humanity 10, which is incredibly hard to do because humanity is not something that you get usually. You just have the ability to lose it. But obviously there are points where I'd be like, yeah, you can get a humanity if you're very, very selfless for some reason, right? Like, that's in fact in here. It's like, if you get to that point, maybe your storyteller will give you that. Maybe.
So, let me ask one question that is kind of removed from the actual vampire system itself.
Sure.
I remember that you wanted to run Delta Green.
Mm-hmm.
And have that kind of like supernatural Monster Hunter thing going on, like present day Monster Hunter.
Yep.
Can you do that with this system?
Yeah, they have rules for humans as well. Mm-hmm.
Oh, but like, would they have rules for like monsters, or would you just that?
Yeah, no, so that it's very easy, I would think, to do that, because it's all about the dice pools, right? And they have like
and it is still
approximations. Yeah, oh yeah, it's true. But I think Delta Green works better in that sense for what I would want, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's 2 other clans. Well, technically, right? Caitiffs, they're clanless. Either because they were embraced by another caitiff, or whoever they were embraced by, their blood didn't really take. It just, they didn't become a Ventru or a Gangrel or whoever embraced them. They just became a caitiff. And they get the ability to just take 3 disciplines to be their clan disciplines, right? You can choose whatever. It just costs a little bit more experience. Leveling those up. And then their bane is if another kindred knows you're a caitiff, you suffer socially with them. Because no one trusts caitiffs. Caitiffs are just, it's just one of those things that it's just something that you don't trust.
Because they are unbound to the clans.
Yes, they're unbound to the antediluvians. They're unbound to all the clans, so like you can't really trust that. The blood is not. It's weird.
Does that mean that most caitiffs are dangerous people, or is that just something from the kindred?
That's just something from the kindred. Some caitiffs, in fact, try to mask that they are a part of their clan, right? A part of like whatever clan was with them.
I see.
It's just one of those things. So finally, we have the sign of the end times, the Thin Blood. So the end times are here, boys. In Vampire.
Been needing it.
The book of Nod, I think it is, their vampire actual like prophecy book. Said, hey, the Gehenna is coming because vampires are derived from the Middle East, so they have a lot of Middle Eastern terms. I don't know specific language what Gehenna is in like that specific language, but
it's a reference at least to the end times.
Well,
I can teach you.
Okay, please.
So, Gehenna is a valley in Israel.
Gotcha.
And it is said that the battle of the end times will take place there.
Gotcha.
And that there will be so many people like involved in it. You'll be able to like drown in the bodies.
Gotcha.
And the blood will like the standing blood on the ground will like go to your, I think it was your knees.
Woo. Damn. So 2 things to that.
Yeah.
1, that sounds like it's fucking great for the vampires, because that's a lot of blood to drink. Right? 2, how the hell was a valley gonna come? Valleys don't move. No.
So
it became synonymous with hell. The name of hell is canonically Gehenna.
Is it?
Interesting.
I thought it was Shill.
It's actually a rubbish pit.
Oh my god.
Actually, I think.
Yeah, which one is Shill? Is that Limbo?
I don't know Shill.
Oh, you don't know Shill? Okay. Well, that's another one that's thrown around. I don't remember.
But Gehenna became sort of used as a term for hell.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, so Vampire 1 is a little spin on it. So, and it's actually happening, which is interesting. So, Cain and his second generation of vampires founded Enoch, an ancient city of vampires that they ruled over humanity in, right? They lived together and they ruled. And then the antediluvians came about and destroyed the second generation, and Enoch was lost. And so the War of Gehenna, in fact, is vampires are going to the east, the Middle East, in fact, to fight and find the ancient city of Enoch, because their blood is now calling them there to find it. Yeah, if you're old enough as a vampire, you can barely resist the call. most of the ones who are still not there are drowning themselves in humans, drinking humans by the day in order to resist the call.
Damn.
Yeah,
and when you say older by a vampire, you mean the
higher generations, like younger,
yes.
or not older generations, like
gotcha.
Not third.
So like the third, the fourth, the fifth, etc.
Yeah, if any of them are around and awake, which would be probably, I think, fifth and up. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Or yeah, down technically, but yeah. They are being called to it.
Okay.
And so, the other thing in the book is, the time of Gehenna will come when thin bloods are apparent and are numerous, and that is thin bloods. You can be a thin blood. They suck.
Well, they cannot suck.
Well, so they can. It's just they're really bad.
It's only 1 C.
Yeah, it's only 1 C instead of 3.
No, it's 2.
Yeah.
Well,
So
how does a thin blood not suck?
So I can tell you, a thin blood can in fact become a true blood vampire. But it's not a good thing in a way. So thin bloods, before I get to that, they have
from the cosmic scale is a pretty diablerie is a pretty neutral thing.
It is true on a cosmic scale, you're right. But thin bloods, yeah, they use blood and other things to make thin blood alchemy. That is their thing. And so they can have specific things through that. But they need to drink specific resonances of blood, which is just like the humors basically. Or yeah, the humors of the blood to get access to certain disciplines. And yes, so in order for them to become a full-fledged vampire, they have to drink and consume a vampire to death.
Oh shit.
So yeah, so they commit diablerie, as Aiden pointed out. That is when you consume another vampire.
Wouldn't that technically just be patricide?
No, because it could not be your
it doesn't have
sire.
to be your your sire.
It can be any vampire.
It can be a vampire.
Yep. So you drink the blood until it's gone, and then you make several tests, depending on their potency, how potent it was, and then you get to be that potency of blood. And yeah,
and can't that be done by any vampire?
Yes, it can be done by any vampire, and the negative thing is if somebody looks at you with auspex, they can see black blood flowing through your veins.
Yeah.
So you are marked for at least a year. At most, more than that because of generations.
And depending on how powerful the blood was, I take
yes,
it. The more powerful the blood, the darker the blood.
Yes.
Or the darker the mark, whatever.
Yes.
It also like the older generations, like there's more likely to be questions that are raised when they go missing.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. Diablerie equals drain a vampire to death. Exactly.
Yeah.
I
So
never knew that.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. Anyone can do it. It's just one of those things that they go. No matter what faction.
Can a mortal do that?
No.
Technically?
No.
Oh, okay. I can drink blood though.
Yeah, you can drink blood, but it won't do anything for you.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
I mean, like so.
Yeah, you can do it. It just won't have any effect.
So the only time that it does
fuck up your stomach because blood is caustic, but that's about it.
The only time it would actually do something for you is if the embrace was happening, which the embrace is just the whole process is you get drained entirely and then you are fed blood from the.
I don't know. The embrace feels pretty good though.
Oh no! I mean, yes. Also, no. You go through death, and you do feel pain. It's bad. But the kiss feels good. That's the difference. The kiss is the term for feeding. That is literally, and if you were ever wondering if vampires leave marks, they do. But the saliva of a vampire has a special property that seals the wound, so they don't leave marks.
Yes.
Because of
or
that.
at least the mark heals hopefully before anybody
It
notices.
heals basically instantly.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was gonna take it at least a couple hours or something.
Ooh. So yeah, they have that, and that's how they aren't found that way. Technically, a human can commit diablerie in a way, but both die. Kindred kind of like
an interview with the vampire.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, if
they
drink
what I figured.
If they drink you first and then you drink them, you then become them. Yeah, so you are basically
and if you just drink them, they die and you die because vampire blood's nasty.
Yeah, and then you're forcing an embrace in a way, I guess. So potentially, but yeah, that's basically all of the clans in this book. There are more that you can be. I think there are Sabbat clans that you can be as well in other things. Some people have. I did some research, and some people are like, the only thing I don't like about this is that they don't have all the clans there for you, right? Which is fair, but that's very, very much a subjective thing. I'm fine with this.
Yeah, because it's as simple as just, that's not really a big deal.
What I agree with is, yes, you should have more things available to you in the core, but again, they do have to sell books somehow, and it is not something that is against the system itself, I think. But anyway, so that's
Plus, there's only a certain amount of disciplines, so you could very easily just be like, hey, I want to play as this clan.
Yeah.
They do this, so can I have this, and this as my disciplines?
Yeah.
It's really as simple as that.
Yeah. So the other thing is, right, when you actually make a vampire, you only get to choose 2 out of the 3 disciplines that you have access to.
Okay.
But
you
can always but you can always spend more points as you get them with your experience to get other disciplines or the 3rd discipline in your clan, right?
I see.
So there's tons of customization. In fact, some powers require you to have different disciplines in 2 different, some powers require you to have points in 2 different disciplines in order to use that power.
Ooh, that's neat.
So they do have cross power things, and I assume other books have more powers that you can have access to, though I don't know that for sure. And so, yeah, the other thing that a lot of people talk about with this is hunger. Hunger is a thing in this that is just, you get hungry if you use powers sometimes. You get hungry every time you wake up if you fail a check. It's called a rouse check. You're rousing the blood in order to animate your body or to do a power or any of this kind of stuff. So a rouse check is basically you just roll your d10. If you get a 6 or higher, that's a success. And if you succeed, you do it, no problem. If you fail, it goes off, but you get hungry, right? And everyone, so the hunger scale goes from 0 to 5. And the only way to get to hunger 0 is to drain a person to death.
Oh, shit.
Yep. So you will always be at hunger 1 if you're not trying to kill people.
So what if you have 2 people and you drain them both halfway? Does that, it still doesn't
You're
do
at
it?
hunger 1.
Okay, so I take it if you drain somebody completely, there's something intrinsic in them that you take.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. Yes. And
Interesting.
So, yeah, and so if you really don't want to, so the thing that hunger affects is when you are rolling your dice in tests, you have a combination of your attributes plus a skill, right? And every time you roll your dice, if you have at least 1 hunger, one of those dice is a hunger die, right? And so, just for an example, you're trying to locate something by searching a crowd, right? You're trying to locate a person.
Okay.
Find their face. I would go, okay, give me a wits plus awareness test, right? If you have 3 points in wits, 3 points in awareness, that means you have 6 die to roll, right? And then if you have 1 hunger, one of those 6 die is your hunger die. If you roll it out and you fail with all your die and your hunger die is a 1 on its roll, then you get a bestial failure, which usually
I see.
Yes, because the beast has now done it has come about, and so you now have to suffer a compulsion, right? And compulsions range from now acting more because you're hungry, like it's a hunger compulsion, a violence compulsion, basically. I can in fact go and find those specifically. There's also the clan compulsion from your blood. And then there's a bunch of different compulsions to do in that scene. So like if you're in a scene and you are, say, trying to find that person, and then you get that bestial failure, and I roll a hunger compulsion for you, right? Or we just choose a hunger compulsion. Depends, right? If I want to use the table or if I just want to choose one, because see what happens in the scene. If the hunger compulsion comes about, then you're more focused on getting blood at that point. Now what you are doing in the scene is something you have to get blood. Like, you are now focused on this, more so.
Yes.
You are compelled by the beast in order to get the blood. Because you're hungry. And then the other end of that is with criticals. So, criticals are 10s on the die, but you need a pair of 10s in order to get a crit.
Okay.
And that counts as 2 times that crit. So you, instead of having, like, if you roll everything and you get 2 10s, then that means you have 4 successes, right?
Okay, cool.
And so if you get a critical with one of those being your hunger die, being a 10, in that pair of criticals, then you get a messy critical. So, whatever you were doing, the beast has taken over to now make it more bestial. So, the example that I have given all of my players is, so say you're trying to go and knock out a guy in order to make it so that he isn't keeping watch on this facility anymore, so that you and your fellows can go around without harming, or without being interrupted, right? If you make noise or something. Okay, you roll it out, you get a messy critical out of it. Okay, so instead of that, now either you go and you fucking beat the guy's head in and crush his skull, or you take him by the neck and you drain him dry. And he's dead, right? You make some sort of complication happen that's very much a messy situation that you now have to deal with. Whether that's a stain,
cool.
Yeah, whether that's a stain on your humanity because you killed somebody, or whether it's just you further complicated the situation somehow in some way, that just means that, all that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Ultimately, I think this edition of Vampire is the best way for you to transition from D&D into a skill-based system. I honestly believe that because it has so many elements like experience, as well as all of the attributes, and they're very easy to figure out and learn, and like it all just kind of makes sense. And you have that ability of powers as well. You have it's far less heroic. You are not heroes. That is, you can be anti-heroes, sure, but it is incredibly important to state you are monsters, right? You can be a good monster, you can be a humane monster, but you're still going to be feeding off people or animals or something, right? When at the end of the day, you need that blood. You gotta get that blood. But yeah, so experience is much less prevalent in the sense of you get them at like the end of sessions, or you get them at the end of your chronicles, which is your campaign. And then you spend them on pips in your or points in your attributes or skills, or you get specialties in your skills, or you get advantages, or you get disciplines with them, right? So I think this is a fantastic way to transition if your table is comfortable with this kind of mature stuff. And again, you can make it as mature or as, not as you need. But fucking please. So you're playing monster races? Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
But you literally can be the bad guys, and that's totally fair.
Yeah, and it's rather common.
Whether
through intention or not, because of how you can fuck shit up with bestial shit.
Yes, exactly.
If you get really unlucky, it's like, shit, I don't want to kill all these people, but the beast, it compels me.
A very common thing is like those kinds of characters that don't drink at all because they're like, no, I don't need to, right? And then they're trying to
you're trying to fucking go cold turkey on your depression meds. It ain't gonna work.
Then once you get to hunger 5, you basically, the beast takes over and fucking you just need food. You just need that blood, and then you kill somebody, and now you're in a situation where you've basically woken up. There's blood on your hands and in your belly. And now there's a bunch of people around you, and you're like, now
it's like what the hell was it? Just pray the hunger away.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't work.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. So any of you out there, fucking pick it up. If I haven't convinced you yet, read it. Fucking look into it yourself, please. It's
so Alejo.
Yeah,
I have a question for you and Aiden.
Hello.
You still alive?
Hello. Yeah.
Are you? When the fuck you gonna leave?
I'm actually considering it.
Oh, okay. Right, okay. Just because of that, I take it.
Well, no, I've
feel
been considering it for a while now.
Yeah, you want to? I mean, this is a decent enough spot if you want to bolt.
Yeah,
what's your question?
Yeah. What was
that was the question.
Oh.
That basically the question was: are you feeling okay? Do you want to bolt?
Oh, okay. I understand.
Okay, fucking finally he's gone. Fucking creeper just hanging around, not saying anything.
But yeah, I'm outie for the night, boys.
Right.
I'm horribly tired.
Yeah. Will you be good for Thursday?
I should be.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah, sorry to just start speaking and not stop.
No, I mean, hell, this is now your territory. You're good.
Yeah, like we were talking Vampire the Masquerade rules, and as someone who knows less about Vampire the Masquerade, I'm like, this is not on me to speak.
Yeah, and like the only reason why I know much of anything about Vampire is because I played Vampire the Masquerade, and so I know very, very little.
Right.
But I know some of it.
Yeah, I saw someone play through Bloodlines, and I think that's about it.
For any of you out there, if you want to get a good vampire feeling game, absolutely Bloodlines is fantastic for it.
And they're making the second one. Don't know when it's going to come
out. Well, it's delayed as fuck, and I don't think it's in development hell now. Yeah, same. I hope it's good, but it's probably, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's probably going to take a while.
Anyway, I'm outie. Have a good evening, boys.
See ya. Take care.
Okay.
Fuck off.
So
finally. So then I have a question for you.
I would love to answer your question.
Since you are the resident vampire authority, do you have a character sheet?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to send me that? And do you want to fucking walk me through character creation, you big bastard?
Sure, we can do that. We can do that real easy.
Yeah, that way we can give even more examples of fucking vampires. I want to make the Toreador now.
Sounds good. Okay, hold up. Before we do that, I'll just send you the character sheet, and then we'll do our mid bit. I thought we were going to cover a video today, boys, but we ain't going to do that.
We're the video!
We're the video today! Hey! Hopefully this is informative enough and not, Anyway, so before we get to that, want to thank our lovely patrons. Thank you so much. You give us things, and we give you things back. So
you give us money, we give you words.
It's true. We give you our quality content. Excuse me. So thank you very much to Draco Kusaji for that tier 3, telling me that I need to spend it on headphones, so I'll do that. I guess. Thank you so much. Very much appreciate it. Then we have Slazer, also at that tier 3. Thank you so much. Very much appreciate it. Hopefully you're flipping tables with the gods, as all of us are up here.
Did he die?
Oh. No. He's just ascended to such a degree, right, that he's in godhood. I don't know, man. then Steely, our first and still longest table flipper, at that tier 3 as well. Thank you. Then we have Drake Cross at $10 a month. That tier 2. Thanks so much. Hope we're doing the things for you. Hope you're learning and hope you're thinking about other games and such. You better get those headphones. Don't make me find a way to give you more.
You know what you know what you need? We just need to fucking have an Amazon wish list.
Oh God, no.
My Amazon wish list is just a bag of money.
Right, exactly. I thought about making like a way for those who don't want to do like donating to Patreon. They can donate to us directly. I've thought about figuring out a way to do that. But
just a PayPal link.
Well, it's one of those things of just
we just set up a PayPal for the TableTalk.
Right, exactly. Which I can do pretty easily, hopefully. But we'll figure it out. It's one of those.
Wait a minute, fucking Vampire has the fucking thing you were talking about with the 3 attributes: physical, social, mental.
Yeah, I know.
Oh wait, no, this is where you got. No, that's where you got it from.
That's where I got it from. Yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
Because it makes it. Yeah.
Anyway,
Mog Zero, tier 2 as well. You've been in chat. Thank you. Hope you're enjoying and continue to enjoy. As well as Chris for that $5 a month. That tier 1. Thank you so much. And Frozen Spaghetti, $5 a month as well. That tier 1. Flipping tables, getting there. And then, last but not least, Kill Chrono, that $5 a month. Hoping you're still enjoying as well with you and your upside down. I don't know. I was gonna make I can't. Anyway, I am. But I don't want to make fun of you. Anyway, so thank you so much to all our patrons.
Don't make fun of the people who give us all their money. We need more money.
No, I will make fun of you. It's just I don't want to be like. I can't go for the low-hanging fruit of like upside down, right? Anyway, because I know he's in Australia. Anyway, so yeah, remember? Because he's never
low-hanging fruit because he's on Australia. Most fruit is up.
God damn it! No, don't twist my words. Fuck. Anyway, as well as you have the ability to get shirts with the logo, as well as it's in different colors as well. It's not just red. Can be on green and all that. Then there's, hoodies and masks and, notebooks and mugs and pillows, and laptop cases and phone cases and stickers and all that. On TeePublic, go there if you want to get
coasters. I see.
I wish they had them, dude. I wish they did. That would be great. But we moved to the site because it's not allegedly it's not a site that allegedly has stolen art on it. Allegedly.
What was the one that stole art?
Allegedly. A Redbubble.
Yes.
Redbubble.
I see.
Yeah, that one's notorious.
Didn't you hear they
for it.
fucked an ostrich? Allegedly.
So if you're into that, if you want some physical stuff, hopefully we'll get some new designs soon. Stimulus is coming, so I'm gonna spend it on some art for us. It's gonna be great.
Nice.
But yeah. So, there's that. Anyway, so let's move on from that. We'll go to making characters. Hey, out there, you ever wanted to make a character in Vampire? Well, we're going to talk about making fucking vampire characters. Woo!
That helps, because I want to do that.
Oh my god. Crazy how this works.
So we're not doing the watch together, I take it? Can I just
No, yeah, you're good. We don't have to do the watch together.
Yeah.
At this point, we're fine.
Yeah.
Sorry if you thought there were gonna be a video today.
Nope.
Anyway,
at least it's a fun one today.
Oh, dude, I fucking love this system so much.
Yeah,
actually, it's the legitimately, it's the first time I've been excited to get a new book.
Yeah,
like
I was that way with 7C.
Right, it got me to the point of like, I need to buy this book. I need to support this because this is like legitimately speaking to me on so many different levels. Right.
So I've got my character sheet open, and for the moment, I've saved it, and the only thing I have filled in right now is Clan Toreador.
Okay, well, we'll get to that then. So, this lovely book has a very comprehensive character summary couple of pages here. For those of you at home who may or may not have this, if you find a way to have this, pages 136 and 137 in your core rulebook here, there is the character creation summary. So goes over the steps very well, I think. First off, we have the core concept. So basically, you can see at the top of the screen here, and I'll show it on stream. I found this through another video. It's a fillable PDF. Very useful here. And so we'll go point by point, basically. So your core concept is your concept thing at the very top. It's basically, who is your vampire? What do they do? What is their purpose in life, you think? Well, no, that's ambition. But what is their, like, profession, really? Like, who are they, really, you know? If you're a toreador, then you're probably some kind of artsy person, right?
Yeah.
In some way. Maybe you're an art gallery owner who has night galleries, or you're maybe you're, like you said, the tagger who you could be the gangland tagger, or even not even a gang member tagger. You're just not amateur, but
I'm putting in urban explorer tagger.
Okay,
Urbex.
yeah, urban tagger, yeah, urbex tagger. Okay,
tagger.
So that's your concept. So just keep ruminating on that.
Yeah.
So what's your ambition then? What is your character really wants in their own life? Right? Like, do they want their tags?
Tag something in every major country.
Ooh, okay.
Country or state.
So they're kind of leaving their mark on the world so that it will always be remembered.
Tag the world. There we go.
Tag the planet.
There we go. Tag the planet. There we go. Because I can't fit the one I put in.
I feel it.
It's too long. So tag the planet.
Tag the planet.
With 2 exclamation points.
Okay. Fantastic. So, you know what? I'll make this a
and to elaborate a little bit more on it, obviously tag the planet is just a way to fit it in the box. Basically, it's just I want to, or he wants to basically kind of become like a famous tagger, where like it's like his shit is popping up in like every major city. It's like, tagging is on the rise because somebody with this fucking weird symbol is tagging, and then it's making people want to tag, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So he kind of wants to start a movement in a way.
Yeah.
Is Boo's character the real Banksy? Dude, it sounds like it.
Who's Banksy?
Banksy's a really famous like tagger. He does street art. He does street art. If you look it up, it's pretty good actually.
Cool.
And nobody knows who he is.
Really? That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Tag
glitter spray. Yeah. It'll never go away.
And like, if we play a campaign, this is gonna be my first character.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
So this is not like a one-off thing that I'm doing here. I'm making a character.
This is the thing. When I was making the one-shot characters with people, they immediately, after they were making it, they were like, "Dude, I don't want this to be a one-shot."
Yeah, right.
And I was like, I know.
I don't either.
I know. And so we agreed to it. Anyway, so you've already picked your clan, your toreadors.
Yes.
So we can figure out who your sire is if you want now. We can figure out a name for him or her, and we can kind of get a general concept of who they were, if they're still in your life, or if they're gone from it, you know, just, you know, what do you think?
Like, it was effectively a one-night stand in terms of an embrace.
It could have been. Yeah, it could have been. So that's another thing to consider. Are you going to be more Camarilla, Anarch, or are you kind of towing the line?
I'd probably be an Anarch.
Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting.
Is there a place to put that? Maybe Chronicle?
I mean, at the moment, you can put it probably...
no.
Put it into your notes at the very bottom.
Okay, Anarch.
Might as well. Anarch.
Because obviously I follow the Masquerade. I don't want to fucking get killed.
Of course.
But at the same time, I like cell phones.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's not like all Camarilla don't use them, but it's just, you know, the sentiment of it, right? Anyway, so in that case, then your sire probably either was or could have been part of the Camarilla, and you defaulted, or not defaulted. You drove. You drove them away, or they drove you away more so. Or
So-
they could have been part of the Anarchs as well. Like,
I'm gonna flip a coin to see if it's a man or a woman.
Okay.
It's a man.
Okay.
I got my fucking destroyer droid coin or droidica.
I feel you. So this male vampire, whoever they were,
Mhm.
are they still a part of your unlife? Are they not? What do you think? Because if they are, then that means you have some sort of contact.
Yeah,
that you can kind of talk to occasionally.
They probably, I think that they are, but they're not like a huge part. Not a huge part. It's basically someone who I can be like, hey, it's me. I need help.
Yeah, okay. So they're
Something
just
as simple as that.
Yeah, they're still a part of your life. Okay, so then they're probably, I would have to say, probably an Anarch then, because Camarilla don't really want to help Anarchs usually.
Yeah, probably.
They're not about it because the Anarchs take over Camarilla territory a lot of the time. There's a big contention with it. In fact, because of the destruction of the Camarilla in Los Angeles, it is now an Anarch controlled area.
Okay. So because when you said it, fucking hell! When you said that the Camarilla presence was destroyed, I thought that basically Los Angeles had been like wiped clean.
No.
That's why I was scared. That's why I was like, "Oh," when you said that.
No. It's quite literally just because the Camarilla is a presence. You know, it is an established kind of thing that has. Stop calling me Vampire Dad. You don't understand
my heart.
It's true.
No, actually, he probably totally gets it because he
encourages it, right? He encourages it.
Yeah.
Competing tag artist. Yeah. So they're still in your life. They're all at. So you can think about a name later, but keep those notes down, basically.
Yeah, I've put in male Anarch.
Okay.
This tire.
So let's move on from there. The other thing about Vampire is that they have this thing called the relationship map, which isn't, I wouldn't say required, but it is nice to have like a kind of drawing on a separate like kind of paper or something where you have like the people in your coterie, which is your party, basically, and like what you think about them and like how they relate to you, and then there's like your sire, and then like your touchstones, which we'll get to way later. So like it's something to help you visualize that kind of relationship with everybody, but you don't have to do that. You can just think about it. Anyway, so after that we go to attributes. So
will I need dice?
No. So every character is a kind of array of attributes, but you get specifically one attribute will be at 4 pips, 3 attributes will be at 3 pips, 4 attributes will be at 2 pips, and 1 attribute will be at 1 pip. Okay. So I'll go one at a time in a second.
Okay.
But something to note: health is your stamina plus 3.
Okay.
And then your
not a lot.
and then your this is very much a deadly kind of system in a way. And then your willpower is your composure plus your resolve.
Okay.
So keep those in mind. We'll start from the
willpower and resolve.
Willpower is composure plus resolve.
Composure. I'm sorry.
Yes. And you can see those under your skills, right?
Yes.
So let's start from the top here with your attributes. So your first attribute will be your primary attribute. This is your best attribute. This is at 4 pips. Okay, so you will have 4 dice every time this is called upon.
Okay, so I think dexterity.
Okay. All right. So just fill in 4 bubbles there.
Yes.
Okay, so now you have 3 attributes to put at 3 pips.
All right, so stamina, charisma, and composure.
Okay. Interesting. So then you have 4 attributes at 2 pips, or we can do it the opposite way of you have 1 attribute at 1 pip, and then the rest of them will be at 2. So we can just figure out which one's your worst attribute, and then the rest of them are at 2.
Oh, okay.
So which one do you think you won't be using as much, or your character is the worst at, you think?
I think probably manipulation.
Okay, so they're not really a liar. Neat. Okay, so then everything else is at 2 pips.
Everything is at 2?
Yes, everything else that you didn't put any pips into, that's at 2.
Okay.
So that's the rest of the 4.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So these are your attributes themselves. So think about that when we think about skills. So first off, your health is now 6, so you can fill in 6 things.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay.
And then your willpower is composure plus resolve, so 5.
All right.
Pretty good. Okay.
And then humanity starts at, I assume,
Oh, yes.
like 1.
Well, we'll figure that out.
Okay, that's later. Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later. Had a great session tonight. Sad I missed Alejo popping off about VTM. Definitely gonna catch the VOD. Hey, Bramble.
Yeah, it's really good,
dude. I feel
I
kind of
to fucking like advertise it, but
right.
it was really good.
I feel kind of bad. But hey, I hope people learn. Anyway,
yeah.
I hope it convinces at least some people to try.
Yeah.
Okay, so skills are interesting as well. You also have arrays that you get to choose from, though. So there's the Jack of all trades, the balanced, and the specialist. So the Jack of all trades gets 1 skill at 3, 8 skills at 2, and 10 skills at 1. So you're pretty good at everything.
Jack of all trades?
Yes.
Okay.
And then so then you have access to a lot of things, but you're not particularly good at one thing, right? Then there's balanced, which has 3 skills at 3, 5 skills at 2, and 7 skills at 1.
So more better skills.
Yes. And then
the
specialist has 1 skill at 4, 3 skills at 3, 3 skills at 2, and then 3 skills at 1.
Okay, I'm definitely going to specialist.
Okay, so first off, 1 skill at 4. And if you need me to read off what any skill is, like what it does, let me know.
Okay. So I'm thinking streetwise probably at 4.
Okay, so you're very streetwise. That's very cool. I'm into it.
So it's just it was 1 that's level 4?
Only 1 is at level 4, and then 3 of them will be at level 3.
Okay, so larceny at 3.
Ooh.
Stealth at 3.
Yeah.
And then probably awareness at 3.
Okay. I'm making a character sheet along just to with all their choices.
That way you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm also just doing it so that people can see something.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So, okay. So that's those, and now 3 skills at 2.
Probably 3 skills at 2?
Yes.
Okay. I'm thinking technology 2.
Okay.
You
know how a computer works pretty good.
Oh shit. Okay, hang on.
Yeah.
I am going to take. Okay, wait a minute. I gotta change this a bit. Sorry.
Okay. No, it's fine.
Okay.
This is the whole point.
Okay, so I'm starting over from the beginning. Athletics is at 4.
Athletics is at 4. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, my bad. And then streetwise, stealth, and larceny are at 3.
Okay.
Then awareness and technology are now at 2.
Okay, you get 1 more at 2.
Yes. Okay. Now let's see. I think persuasion.
Okay. Cool. So, and now you have 3 more skills to do at level 1.
All right. Then I will do etiquette.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no etiquette. Subterfuge.
Okay, so that is specifically lying.
Oh, that's lying? Okay,
yes.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll take drive.
Okay, yeah.
Etiquette again, I guess.
Okay.
Actually, no etiquette. I'll get brawl.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, brawl, and then maybe survival. No. You know what? Medicine, I think.
Medicine. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, because that way, if I fuck up an athletics check when I'm trying to jump in between buildings, I'm like, my leg, I gotta reset it.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'm good.
So now you didn't take anything like academics, craft, performance, and science, I don't think.
Nope.
No. Okay. So the thing about those is that when you take points in them, you get a specialty to use with them. In association to how many points you put into them. So you can have, like, if academics is at 4, you have 4 different specialties, right? And specialties, when something applies to a specialty skill, you get an additional die that you can roll in your pool.
Okay.
So if anything applies to that, but they have to be specific, right? They can't be very broad. But you do get 1 free specialty from anything that you've taken here. So if you want something like streetwise gangs, right? So you know the gang talk, or you want athletics, climbing buildings, I guess. No, that's very. I don't know.
It'll probably just be athletics climbing.
Yeah, I'll look at the ones they have as examples here, like acrobatics, archery, climbing. Yep, endurance, jumping, parkour, swimming.
Jumping, parkour.
Jumping or parkour.
Oh, okay, parkour for sure.
Okay, yeah, athletics, parkour. There you go.
There we go.
So basically, when you think you can do it in such a way that you use parkour, then I go, okay.
I want to we got to get into this big fucking mansion. Okay, well, I want to fucking look for weird handholds and shit on the wall and try to get up to the second floor, open a window, sneak down, open the front fucking door. Like in fucking Payday.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Except more parkour.
Yes.
All right. So, cool. Now we have disciplines. Okay. So,
and then since I'm a Toreador, I guess.
You have presence, auspects, and I think it's not dominate. Let's see here. Toreador. Here you are. So you have access to auspect, celerity, and presence. So basically, at this point now, you see your discipline box. And sometimes this doesn't save these when you put them in. Okay, it's doing it for me this time. That's good. So you get to choose 2 of these. One can have 2 pips in it, and one can have 1 pip. Okay.
So I will take 2 in celerity and 1 in auspects.
Okay. All right. So that's those. Now you have powers. So the way that powers work, is when you put a point in, you get access to level 1, right? Level 1 powers. You get to choose 1 of them. Then when you put a second point in, you have access to both the level 2 powers and then the level 1 powers. So you get to choose 1 of either level, right?
Oh, okay.
So for celerity, because I just turned to it, we have your level 1 powers are Cat's Grace, which gives you the vampire gains a balance and grace equal to and surpassing world-class trapeze artists. They can walk and even run across ledges and wires effortlessly, and can keep their balance on the slimmest of supports, which sounds really up your alley.
Yes.
It's free. You automatically pass any dexterity or athletics-based roll needed to keep your balance. It does not allow you to balance on supports that cannot take your weight. So, you can't dance on straw, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one is rapid reflexes, which is more, while their bodies still can't defy the laws of nature, vampires with this power perceive events instantly and can react to them with superhuman alacrity. They can observe incoming projectiles to the extent that they can attempt to dodge arrows and even bullets without available cover.
Shit.
It's free. With this power, the vampire suffers no penalty to their defense pools for lack of cover against firearms attacks. They can also take a minor action worth up to 2 dice per turn, such as readying or reloading a weapon for free. So that's the level 1 powers. So which one would you take for your first pip? I assume Cat's Grace.
Yeah, Cat's Grace, for sure.
So, Cat's Grace. Grace. Okay, so for level 2, there's only one choice.
Okay.
So you can either choose this or rapid reflexes. So this is fleetness. Their mastery of celerity now allows the vampire to move and react with dizzying speed. This costs 1 rouse check. So like I said, if you make a rouse check and you fail, you get more hungry, but it still goes off.
Okay.
And then if you succeed, you just succeed and you're good. The system is you add the celerity rating to the user's dice pool for non-combat dexterity tests. Once per turn, the user may also do this when defending with dexterity plus athletics. It lasts a whole scene, so whenever you're inside of like an area for a little while. Scenes are basically areas when you transition from one area to another. That's another scene. So this quite literally you add all, like, since your celerity is at 2, you would add 2 more dice to any dexterity based checks. Or tests.
But non-combat ones.
That are non-combat, and then the only time when it applies to combat is when defending once per turn with your dexterity plus athletics, which you have both in spades. So it's pretty good for you. And the other option is, of course, the rapid reflexes, like I said.
Yeah, that. So with Cat's Grace, which is free, that automatically lets me succeed at dex checks, right?
It automatically lets you succeed only on dex or athletics-based rolls that need your balance. Only for that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, then I'll take this one. What was it called again?
Fleetness.
Fleetness. Yes. Okay.
Okay, so that's
Auspex.
Yes. Now Auspex.
Death Stare.
No, not yet. that's dominate. So, the level 1s for Auspex are heightened senses.
Okay.
The vampire's senses sharpen to a preternatural degree, giving them the ability to see in pitch darkness, hear ultrasonic frequencies, and smell the fear of cowering prey. It's free, but the user adds their Auspex rating to all perception rolls. If exposed to extreme sensations such as loud bangs, flashes of intense light, or overpowering smells while the power is active, the user must succeed on a Wits plus Resolve difficulty 3 or more roll to dampen their senses in time, or overload. Or the overload causes them to sustain a -3 dice penalty to all perception-based rolls for the rest of the scene.
Woo!
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then what's the other one?
The other one is Sense the Unseen. The senses of the vampire become attuned to dimensions beyond the mundane, allowing them to sense presences otherwise hidden from the naked eye. This can be anything from another vampire using Obfuscate to someone using Auspex to spy upon the character to a ghost in the middle of the room. Dormant blood source spells and rituals might also be found with this power at the storyteller's discretion. Whenever there's something supernatural hiding in plain sight, the storyteller makes a hidden roll of Wits plus Auspex against a difficulty they choose. Against an entity actively trying to stay hidden, the storyteller can call for a blind roll, such as Lisa, roll 7 dice for me, as a contest against the target's relevant pool. For example, detecting a vampire using Obfuscate would be a roll of Wits plus Auspex versus the Wits plus Obfuscate. If the vampire actively searches for a hidden supernatural entity, they roll Resolve plus Auspex similarly. So basically, it's passive unless you're actively trying to search for something, right?
So, as the storyteller,
hello,
what kind of things would be detectable by this other than stuff listed directly in the book?
Okay.
So because I'm not sure, because obviously I don't know what kind of a campaign you'd be running, but do you think ghosts and stuff ghosts and obfuscating vampires would be common enough to make this a worthwhile
They
pick?
could be. I would also say that it would definitely help with like investigations, right? Trying to find little things that could be missed by other vampires, right? Or people, right? You go to a crime scene, you find a trail of blood that nobody else found, or
like microscopic or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like you are able to see that kind of stuff way better. I would say.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that one. And what was it called?
Sense the Unseen.
Sense the Unseen. Okay.
So that's your powers for now, because you might get more. Okay. Next. Let's go back here, because
I guess I should probably put 1 point in hunger, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, you always have at least one unless you eat somebody.
You're a little hungry. A little hungry right now. Anyway, so next up we go for predator type. So, how do you think you hunt? Are you... So since you're a Toreador, you aren't restricted from any of the predator types, which is good. So, I don't know how much you read of them.
I kind of glossed over.
So I'll
Sandman.
Yeah, I'll give you more on them. So they start on page 175 for anybody who's looking into that. So you have the options of being an alley cat, which is basically you're going after people in alleys, right? You're very forceful in this way. Very much a direct approach. And it gives you all of them give you specialties and advantages and flaws and sometimes, or actually every time, a power point as well, right? A discipline point. So an alley cat gives you the specialty of either intimidation stick-ups or brawl grappling. You get a dot of celerity or potence, and then you lose a dot of humanity, and then you gain 3 dots of criminal contacts.
Shit.
And then baggers, they drink from blood bags, right? That's how they get their things. So, a very
safe.
Yes, safe and humane way to do it. You get the specialties of larceny lockpicking or streetwise black market. You get a dot of obfuscate since you're not a Tremere. You don't get a blood sorcery. And then you gain the feeding merit Iron Gullet 3, which I think means you can actually hold food down, I think, if you have that. Let me check really quick. Iron Gullet for feeding. You can feed from cold blood, rancid blood, and fractionated plasma.
Whoa. There you go. That's cool.
Yep. And then you get the enemy flaw 2. Either someone believes you owe them, or there's another reason you keep off the streets. So you have an enemy. A kind of powerful one, because it goes from 1 to 3.
Shit. Okay.
Then there's Blood Leech. This is drinking from other vampires. Not something that vampires like.
Yes.
You get the specialty of Brawl Kindred, or Stealth Against Kindred.
Draco, Kraken. It would be cool to make a detective that only feeds on serial killers like Dexter.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That'd be fucking cool.
Yeah, anyway, that's a whole character idea. Absolutely. Yeah. It's fucking cool. So yeah, you also either gain a dot of celerity or protean. You lose a dot of humanity. You increase your blood potency by 1. And then you gain the dark secret flaw Diablerist or the shunned flaw. And then you gain the feeding flaw Prey Exclusion Mortals. So you can never feed on people. You can only feed on vampires. Then there's Cleavers. Cleavers feed from families, either their own that they've made, or families that they are close with, like friends and family, right?
I see.
You get the specialty, I love this, you get the specialty Persuasion Gaslighting.
Nice!
Or Subterfuge Cover-Ups.
Cool.
You gain 1 dot of Dominate or Animalism. You gain the Dark Secret Flaw Cleaver because the Camarilla isn't so fond of vampires having families because it's a masquerade breach waiting to happen. And then you get the Herd Advantage 2, which gives you, I think it's like 7 people, I think, that are a herd that you can drink from safely every night instead of going out to feed on somebody random. which is your family, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or whatever family you feed from.
Yeah.
Then there's consensualist. We went over this.
Mhm.
You get the specialty of medicine phlebotomy, which is the practice of knowing how to put needles into veins and extract blood. I had to look this up because I had no fucking idea. Or persuasion vessels, because you're persuading anybody that you have gotten consent from.
Mhm.
You get a dot of auspex or fortitude. You gain a dot of humanity because you're consensualist. Fucking
Nice.
weirdo. You gain the dark secret flaw masquerade breacher.
Mm.
You gain the feeding flaw prey exclusion non-consenting. Then there's farmers. You can only feed from animals.
Mhm.
You can't get this if your blood potency is 3 or higher. Because you'd get nothing from drinking animal blood. You add a specialty of animal ken, specific animal, or survival hunting. So you're much easier. It's much easier for you to convince a certain animal or hunt better. And then you gain a dot of animalism or protean. See
Bye,
ya, Pizza Funk. Bye.
Make us a vampire meme.
No.
Oh.
I mean, you can if you want. I'm
Yeah.
not going to tell you to. You gain 1 dot of humanity, and you gain the feeding flaw farmer, which I think is just you drink
Basically,
from
you have to drink from animals.
animals. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, let me actually check that. Feeding flaw farmer. You feed only on animal blood. You must spend 2 points of willpower to drink human blood.
Damn.
Woo! That's a lot.
Fucking vegans.
Yep. Actually, I think that is like a quote-unquote slur for farmer vampires.
A vegan?
A vegan, yeah.
Nice.
Consensualist would work as a phlebotomist at hospitals as a side job. Well, yes, absolutely, because you're getting their consent to give blood, and then you're drinking it,
and then you're drinking it.
It's a little scummy, like a little way to sidestep it a bit, but yeah, it works. Osiris, you're a celebrity among mortals, or else you run a cult, a church, or something similar. You basically feed from those who either worship you or follow you in some way, right? You get the specialty of either occult specific tradition or performance specific entertainment field. Since you're not a Tremere, you don't get blood sorcery, but you could get presence. A point of presence. And then 3 dots between fame and herd backgrounds, so you get to choose if you want all in one or the other or a combination. And then 2 dots between the enemies and mythic flaws. And the mythic flaws are basically, one of them is if you get staked, you actually just die instead of just being put in torpor.
Shit.
So these are like the myths, right? Of like, if you get staked, you die, or you have an aversion to ultraviolet light and all that stuff, or you can't go across running water, right?
So the traditional vampire.
Yes.
I see. Because when you said that, I thought you meant like you become like one of the mythical vampires, like a fucking higher generation.
No,
that's what I thought you meant. And I'm like, oh shit.
You just get that, and it's funny because even in this, it's like some vampires have that psychosomatic response to these kinds of things.
Nice.
So it's like it's not even technically in your blood. It's just you think
you just believe it.
Yeah, you believe it, and it's like, oh,
it's fucking great.
Yeah, it's really cool. I said I was a phlebotomist. I didn't say I worked here.
And I also didn't say where that blood was going.
Then there's Sandman, which we talked about. You try to go and break into places, or you have sleeping victims that because specialty of medicine and anesthetics.
Ooh.
So you could be like a doctor, right? Or stealth break-in. And then there's gain a dot of auspex or obfuscate. You get a dot of resources, which is basically just your wealth, right? Money.
Nice.
And then that's it for that one. And then
Scene
Queen. Yes, so Scene Queens are basically you are around a subculture to some extent, right? And then you are a part of that subculture. So say like a gang, right? Or a bunch of punks, right? You're part of this specific subculture.
Yes.
I have a scene queen, Malkavian, who is a fortune teller.
Oh, cool.
And uses their clientele in this way because you feed off your scene. So you get the specialty of etiquette to that specific scene, leadership to that specific scene, or streetwise to that specific scene. You get a dot of dominate or potence. You get the fame advantage 1, which means you're slightly known, and then you gain a contact advantage 1. Then you gain either the influence flaw disliked outside of your subculture, or the feeding flaw prey exclusion, a different subculture from yours. So you won't drink from, say, you're part of the nerds, you won't drink from the jocks, right?
Okay.
That is pretty cool. Works well with Ventru. Yeah, dude. So good.
Osiris or Scene Queen?
Both, I would think. Any of them.
Yeah, right.
Well, not any of them, but most of them.
Be the real vampire among the fake vampire kids scene.
Exactly. Yeah, you can be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
it's
then,
like that fucking Key and Peele sketch.
Yeah. It even says in this of like the people that are in your scene, the ones that know, people don't believe, right?
Nice.
Anyway, so sirens you feed during sex exclusively. You get the specialty of persuasion seduction or subterfuge seduction. You gain a dot of fortitude or presence. You gain
fortitude.
Yeah. You gain the looks merit 2, beautiful. You gain the enemy flaw 1, a spurned lover or jealous partner. So that's all of the predator styles, if you will.
Okay. So
what are you thinking?
There are 2 that speak to me.
Okay.
Alley Cat and Sandman.
Ooh, both I
So,
see.
With Sandman,
Yeah.
The stealth break-in.
Right.
Stealth break-in and auspex, right?
Yep.
And then with Alley Cat, it is that extra point of celerity.
Yep.
And then what was the other thing that I could get with Alley Cat?
That would apply to you would be the brawl grappling.
Yeah.
And the 3 dots of criminal contacts.
3 dots of criminal contacts.
Yeah. You also lose a dot of humanity, remember?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with Alley Cat.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah,
so your specialty for brawl, you can put grappling.
Okay.
So every time you fight, you wrestle people to the ground.
Yeah.
And
then another dot of celerity, correct?
Yes. So with your 3rd dot of celerity, that means you have access to level 3 powers.
So wait, before we do the celerity,
yes, we'll
with humanity, what do I do here? So do I fill it all in and then take 1 away, or what?
So basically, we'll figure out now. Do you want to be either a fresh vampire or do you want to have some years under your belt?
I think just a couple years.
A couple years. So
relatively fresh, I guess.
Right. So basically the options here are you can be a fledgling or a neonate, right?
Okay.
The fledgling is fresh off the boat. You got turned relatively like in recent years, right? The only thing that it would do is like not give you extra experience. But you would start with humanity, I think it's 8. Because you are a fledgling. Let me check. Or sorry, childer. Excuse me. Not fledgling. But you are a fledgling still, in that case. Well, you've been embraced within the last 15 years, is what it says for childer.
Yeah, so that makes sense to me.
Do you want to be a childer? Okay. So, So, with that, then, yeah, I think you actually, oh, no, right, if you're a thin blood, you get humanity 8. Okay. So, yeah, so your humanity starts at 7, and now is at 6.
Yes. Okay, so that's 6 dots. Okay.
Yes.
And then, since we're talking about that, what generation am I if I'm that?
So, you're either a 12th or 13th generation, because you don't want to be a thin blood.
Yeah.
So up to you. 13th would be the younger one, if you want to be that.
Okay. Okay, then I'll be 13th.
Okay. So That means you have blood potency 1. Nice. Okay.
Okay.
So anyway,
do I put that anywhere? Ah, here we go.
yes,
Go.
that's
okay.
Yeah,
So
that's
anyway,
fully fine.
back to celerity.
Yes. So because of that, oh, before we do that, go to your backgrounds, merits, and flaws on your second page, and just put criminal contacts.
Ah,
And then
crims.
put 3.
3 dots. Okay.
I don't know. We'll look at it once we get to advantages, because that's a whole thing.
Yeah, and then also Mach 0, does low humanity make it harder to rise still?
Yes, in a way. So, yeah, I'll explain humanity now. That sounds like a good idea. So,
okay.
Humanity, if I remember right, is on page. Let me find it on the table of contents here. The lower your humanity is, the harder it is for you to blend in, right? Obviously. Let's see. Humanity. Where are you at? There you are. 239. Okay. So, on page 239. So, the way that humanity works is if you do something that is horrible, you get a stain on your humanity. So, then that starts with the empty boxes on your humanity tracked first. So, say you kill somebody, and this is related also to your touchstones and convictions. If you do something that isn't necessarily a part of your convictions, it can incur more or less stains. It depends. But if you do something towards your convictions, it can incur less stains, right? But if you do something completely against your convictions, it can incur more stains.
Okay.
So, if you get if you kill somebody by accident because of the beast, right? Say you got a messy critical and you killed somebody by accident, you get a stain on your humanity, because I wouldn't say that you would get multiple because it wasn't your control, but it is something that is now something you have to deal with, right?
Yeah.
So you have 1 stain. Let's say that's the only stain you get for the rest of the session, right? Or the rest of the night, excuse me. And then we end the session. You make a remorse test.
Okay? Oh, okay.
So that because you have that 1 stain, you would have 3 other boxes that are empty, right? You get 3 dice for your remorse test.
Okay.
If you get a success, any success, you pass your remorse test, all your stains are gone, right?
Okay.
If you fail, all your stains are gone, but you lose a humanity. The minimum you can have is 1 die, even if you fill up all of your stains, all the rest of your humanity tracked with stains. So if you had 4 stains, you would still have 1 die to roll. You get 1 chance to be remorseful. If you don't, you lose a humanity, right? And then humanity is gained by being selfless.
And doing good shit.
Yeah, doing good shit for no reason other than to do good shit, right? You're not looking to raise your humanity, you're just looking to be a good person, right?
So then let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
For on the character sheet, basically I only have an option of filling it in.
Yeah.
And not
basically you would just have to keep track of stains.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So at Humanity 6, there are a few things. You still can fake sex. You're still able to. If you were if you were at Humanity 5, I don't think you can. No, you can. Once you get a Humanity 4, you can't, I don't think. Anyway.
So I take it when you say you can still fake sex, it means that I can't feel any pleasure from sex. Basically.
No, you can't.
Oh, I don't want to be a vampire.
You can't for a long time, to be fair.
Yeah,
I believe it's Humanity 8 where you can.
Holy shit.
Yep. Yeah, you're no
that
longer
sucks.
you don't got the parts, or you don't got the juices much anymore, unfortunately.
I drink the juices all the time, not those juices.
I know. So okay, so there's a thing called the blush of life. And that is just any day, anytime, you can just go, I'm going to use the blush of life, and it makes it so you at least look alive enough to pass a very simple medical test, right?
Okay.
Very, very simple. You go into the doctor's office, he gives you a checkup, you look fine, right?
Yeah.
it costs a rouse check to do, right? So you could get more hungry if you do it. But with it, at Humanity 6, you are able to, if you make a Composure plus Stamina test, difficulty 3, you can keep food and drink down for an hour. And then you have to spit it up.
Yes.
That's the only things about this that are anything different. You're still fine. You don't get any penalties, because if you were at Humanity 5, you get a penalty to interact with humans for 1 die. Right?
Okay.
But yeah, there's no if you were up at like Humanity 8, it would be easier for you to get like a rouse check for the Blush of Life. You'd get to roll 2 dice instead of 1. And all that. So yeah, so you're pretty much set with Humanity at the moment. That's not a bad place to be. The only thing you can't do is there anything you really can't do? No, you're still fine. No, there's nothing you really can't do.
Sweet.
Okay. Losing humanity is just a downward spiral when you think about it. I've always looked at like mental health. You get more detached and less empathetic. Yes, absolutely. Exactly. Yes. So brother, join me in conquering the world. Nah, I have 8 humanity. I'd feel like something. I would like to feel something during sex.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
Okay, so my 3rd level power of celerity.
Yes. So celerity. Sorry.
Because obviously humanity needed to be figured out.
Yeah, lots of things to explain. It's very deep. It's also like you can ignore some of this stuff if you want to just do a one shot, right? Like I had a friend who was making the character for the one shot, and then afterwards when we were figuring it out, it's just like, okay, well we got to do more things then, because I need to make this character for everything. Okay, so you get 2 choices at level 3. Ooh. Okay, level 3. Your first power is called Blink.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
The vampire swiftly closes in on a foe, engaging or escaping in the blink of an eye. To an unprepared observer, the user almost appears to teleport. A rush of wind, the only sign of their passing. It costs a rouse check. The vampire moves in a straight line towards a target, covering any distance under 50 meters, while still having enough time to perform an action, such as an attack, during the turn. If the terrain is in any way hazardous, the character needs to make a dexterity plus athletics roll to avoid stumbling and coming to a halt on the way. The storyteller may call for other contests as desired, especially if the vampire races a distant foe to an object or an action. Vampires engaging a foe with this power act as if already engaged when the turn begins. So you're already right up in there, basically.
Yeah.
Lasts a turn. Only a turn. So the other one is called Traversal. With blurring speed, the vampire can run or climb along any surface, including vertical or even liquid mediums. Oh my god, what liquid?
I can run. I'm Jesus.
Yep. While traversal...
I already wrote it down.
Oh, that's fine. I just want to read the rest of it.
Yeah, no, you're good.
While traversal does not grant insect-like supernatural traction, running up or along walls presents little problem. Walking on water remains impossible, but a vampire can run on water for a limited distance, given a run-up. Oh my god. You're that lizard. You're that fucking lizard that runs on water.
Yeah, I'm a basilisk wizard.
Yeah. It costs a rouse check. You make a dexterity plus athletics roll with a difficulty of 3, inclined surface with traction.
I have 8 dice to that.
What?
I have 8 dice to that. I got 4
exactly.
Dex, 4 athletics.
To 6, slick vertical surface open water. So it's a dexterity and athletics 6 to run across water. Depending on the surface and angle. Each point of margin gets the vampire further up or out. A margin of 0 gets a close target, a margin of 1 to 1 farther than that, and so forth. The storyteller should inform the player beforehand if a target is too distant to even attempt traversal, or as a rule of thumb, anything over water farther than 60 meters or more than 30 stories up a building probably exceeds this power's range. Lasts a turn.
Am I gonna Ghost Rider up a skyscraper? You goddamn right.
Yeah,
Although probably skyscraper's probably too tall.
Well, so I would say if it has like little ledges and stuff that you can stand on for a bit, right?
Yeah.
So you use this in addition to Cat's Grace, right?
Yep.
So free Cat's Grace, easy. Do a rouse check, traversal. You go up like 20 stories. You stand on one of those little ledges, and you're good. You use it again. This is the thing. You use a rouse check every time. So if you want to go up a skyscraper, yeah, you can, but you might get really fucking hungry, and that'd be bad.
It's like, and I can't just like fucking eat a pot of spaghetti and be good to go.
Nope. So yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I'll be the best fucking park. Dude, that's gonna be my fucking trademark. I'm gonna get to like the craziest spots.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
and I want,
absolutely.
Okay, can I? Shit, I don't have crafting. Fuck. Now I want to make.
Do you want to switch drive out for craft?
No, I want to switch out larceny for craft, I think.
Oh my god, really? Okay.
Yeah, because what I want to do now, I want to be able to craft like really, really rudimentary shit.
Dude,
like
this is
a glove that has like hooks on the fingers.
Okay.
And then I also want to have a glove that has like a big fuck off suction cup in the palm.
Oh my god. Okay,
so that way I like do that shit. Bam, slap the wall, and then and that's how I tag shit that's like 70 stories up.
Yeah. You get really hungry and that's bad. Yeah, bad for the cops chasing me. Ooh.
Hell yeah.
So this is the thing now. If you have craft at 3, that means you have 3 things that you can craft specialties, right? So you can have like craft climbing gear, right? Well, no. You can put it as climbing gear, I think. That would be
okay, fun. But okay, so what I'm gonna do is climbing gear, parentheses, suck glove.
Yeah, that's fine. But you have 2 more now that you need to figure out what you can craft.
Okay, so then I'll put that in notes. Anarch craft or can craft suck glove. Yeah. Suck glove, claw glove.
Okay.
Because it has to be something I can use with one hand.
That's true.
And then I guess,
Why did I immediately think of a fluffy joke with that comment?
Shit. What the fuck else should I do?
I don't know, man. You wanted all 3 points in the craft. You're like, fuck larceny.
Yeah, because I'm not really here to steal.
I'm not gonna break into places. I just want to tag shit.
Well, that's stealth.
No,
stealth. It's not larceny break in. It's stealth break in.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. All right. Do you know why I pulled you over?
Fuck. Shit.
Let me look at larceny again.
Okay.
I thought that also.
Ooh, how about long distance spray can?
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. That's
that way, if I can't get exactly where I want to,
yeah, you can have a better spray can to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know what? Paint gun spray can or something like that.
Sure. A portable spray gun.
Yeah, there we go.
Whatever. Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Spray gun. There, we'll just do that.
That's fine with me. That is fine with me.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, larceny. This skill entails familiarity with tools and techniques for picking locks, planting bugs, deactivating standard burglar alarms and car alarms, manual forgery, hot wiring automobiles, or even safe cracking, as well as countless forms of breaking and entering. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
okay. But I'm saying on the outside of stuff.
People
want to be able to see my art from the inside.
Right. Just make yourself the zipline gear from Attack on Titan. Well, we're not.
No,
that's not.
No.
You can have
I want to use a suck glove.
Yeah, he wants to climb himself. He wants to feel the rush.
Yeah. Even though I'm afraid of heights.
Oh. Well, okay, so that's your that's your predator type.
Yes.
So I believe that's everything that gives. Let me check really quick here. Yeah, you have your 3 dots of criminal content, your 1 dot. Yep, okay. So, next up, you now have 7 points to spend on advantages and 2 points that you have to spend on flaws.
Okay.
So, these are in addition to the ones that you got from the thing. So, there's a lot here. There's a lot of advantages and flaws. So, let me get to it. This starts on page 179.
Okay. While you're looking at that, I'll be right back. I just need to use the restroom.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
I'll just talk to the chat. What's up, guys? You liking character creation? I hope this isn't, like, too boring, right? I hope you guys are having fun and learning something. Instead of a razor sword, have a paint dagger instead. Dude, that would be sick. You just throw it out and it just slides across the building and just... Yes, I love it. I love it. This is the thing about this, right? I really fucking love that Vampire is not class-based, okay? I've found that class-based stuff is great, but it is kind of restrictive in some ways, right? Whereas with this, we are literally creating this guy from the ground up, right? Not boring? Good. Okay. We are literally creating this guy from the ground up, and I honestly, if you do, like I said before, this is a great way to transition between D&D or something class-based, I think, and a skill-based system, because this has very much elements of that class-based thing because of the bloodlines, right? Or the clans themselves, because they feel kind of classy, but they're not, right? Because they don't restrict you to anything but the chosen disciplines themselves, right? I like it. I'm used to Vampire the Masquerade, so I know a lot of lore for 2E Vampire. Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah, if there's anything, like, I don't know what they've changed in between editions, much, but along with Werewolf, oh yeah, I forgot Werewolf is also a thing. Makes me a little wistful because I know I'll never play it, not for my group's forte. Oh, that sucks, dude. Yeah. I'd highly recommend if you can find some group to play it with. Like, it's fucking cool. Hopefully we'll actually play it as, like, an actual play for you guys as well at some point, because I would really fucking love it. I might honestly stick to some of the published stuff, because I don't know if I'm confident enough to run my own kind of campaign yet, you know? Kind of the reason why I've been saying what the old stuff was. That's true, yeah. But yeah, I hope this, like, because I haven't seen anybody say, like, this is bad, right? I was looking for videos today for this that were going to say, like, more negative stuff about it, just because I wanted to see if people had that kind of stuff to say about it. But all I see on YouTube is people talking about how to create characters, how the rules work, and nothing that isn't nothing that's, like, you know, against the system, really. I don't think. I'd be down to listen in on a vampire game. It's very story based. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. This is very much, like, this is my element of the characters tell the story more so, instead of, you know, me having to make a whole big, I mean, I would still have to make a campaign, right? But this is a lot more intrigue, right? Combat isn't really necessary in this, which is great, because I don't think we need combat all the time. We can have combat occasionally, and the system itself has, excuse me, the system itself has, like, its 3-turn combat system, or you can go as long as you want, or even a 1-turn combat system, I think I talked about before, where it is, again, it's not really a necessary thing, it's just another part of the story, right? And it really feels that way because you can just have it be as quick or as long as you need it to be, which is great. Plus the actions and stuff that you can take in a combat situation are very, very open, much less open than Fate, right? Where Fate is very much you just say whatever you want to do, right? And then with something like this, it is you use your skills and you figure out what you use your skills for. You can still say what you want to do, and you do it however you want to do. I just then ask for roles that apply to it, right? And it feels more systematic than something like Fate, I think. People were getting triggered over 5e when it was coming out because it isn't very PC, so people took the vampire lore very to heart when Vampire is very pop culture based. Gotcha. Make the main antagonist of the Boo game a group of art elites who keep stealing his art. Boo versus art theft. Nice. Well, they keep tagging things in the same style, but with different symbols in it. Yeah, I like it. I like that a lot. Stealing his fucking brand. Yeah, so that I heard a little bit about people getting very upset over like it not being very PC, and quite literally the response from White Wolf was, well, but it's a game, and they didn't back down, and it's even like in the content warning that I read way the fuck back, they didn't back down in that either. They don't sugarcoat it. I love that. I like legitimately I love that. I love when they are unapologetic, even in the character creation. I could find it again somewhere here, and they just say, you're playing monsters, that is what you are doing. Like, it's fine. You're playing pretend. There's no, it even says right here, no heroes. In Vampire, you play characters who are vampires. They must subsist on the blood of the living. They have strange powers. They can use force. They can use to force their will on hapless humans. This is not a role-playing game where you play good guys. Like, it can be. You can be a good vampire, like a quote-unquote good vampire, right? But it doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to be a good... Like, you can be a good person, but not be a good thing, right? I don't know. It's like, White Wolf did change lore for the game to be less offensive or thoughtful on sensitive topics. Really? Doesn't seem like it.
Hello.
I don't know. I would have to see. Maybe if you could find me examples, then I would love to see them. Anyway.
Earlier you mentioned resources. Is there a spot for that or no?
So that's an advantage.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. You get that if you're a Sandman. And you're not a Sandman.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah. So you have 7 points to spend on advantages and 2 points on flaws. And like I said, 179 to, I think, where is it? I think it's 190 something.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there's a lot. Hang on. 194. Yeah. 179 to 194.
Oh, I thought you said 9 just...
Oh, just 94 options?
Yeah. No, I thought you meant it was like more than 100 pages.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Okay, so what was it? What was it?
179
okay,
is the start. And then you can skip pages, what is it? 180 not 182. You shouldn't skip 182. You can skip 183 because you're not a thin blood. And then after that, more things start. So this is the thing. Everyone I talk to about TTRPGs say D&D is too safe, so I really don't know who is asking for a more PC TTRPG. No one I know wants it. That's fair.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's because that's the thing, right? Hey, Steely. That's the thing. The people that want more PC TTRPGs don't understand TTRPGs at all.
Yeah.
They've never played one. I refuse to believe they've even played one. It doesn't make sense.
So linguistics.
They updated the Ravnos clan and issues with the LGBT plus about vampires attacking the group. Man, that sucks. Okay.
Oh.
That's the thing. Like, okay, if they had to do like one thing like that just to make it so that it's a little bit more okay, and I guess, but at the same time, that's unfortunate because that's not the point.
Yeah, that's not the point.
But okay. They did a good job with it. Okay, well that's good at
Oh,
least.
well, that's good.
As long as it's like suitable, then that's fine. But at the same time, it's like when they have something in here that's like, hey, as a Ventru, maybe you just drink from the gays, right? Like that's what you do because you want their blood, or you don't. Like that's your exclusion, right? That's just a part of it, right? It's not you're not personally saying I don't like gay people, right? That's not what you're doing, and they acknowledge that. So I wish they maybe they did that in such a way for the updating of the Ravnos clan. I hope so. If they did it in such a way that that works, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Steely, you missed. We didn't watch a video at all.
Yeah, we've just been reading a book.
We've just been reading a book, and now we're creating a character for Boo.
Yes.
So yeah, some of these advantages are like, being able to drink certain things or not being able to drink certain things. The mythic flaws that you could take. Your bonding flaws or being able to not be bound so easily. The junkie stuff, right? And then even farther after that is backgrounds, like who you know, right? Like you get contacts, and those criminal contacts, you have that 3 points criminal contact, which means fucking you have a contact that can get you something expensive or hard for you to get a resources for thing, which is fucking high, actually.
Okay, so wait, where? Contacts. Okay.
Yeah. Resources 4 equates to wealthy. So, like, mansions, helicopters, private jets, very specialized high-end equipment.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so you have a criminal contact that can do that. And then you have, like, fame and, like, a haven, like a place that you can actually go and hide and such, which is cool. Do I remember right? The vampires in this setting usually don't have sex. Maybe the Malks, but they are different. No. Any vampire can have sex.
Yeah.
They fake it, mostly. Glad I didn't miss any videos. Nice. But no, anyone can. That's the thing. You can make it work.
Some of them just don't feel anything from it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mug put it there. If you have high humanity, you can feel something, but you can fake it anytime. It just depends on how you feed in this version, at least. It was persecution, sadly. They went with a much more positive direction. Oh, okay. Interesting. Take a look. It's in a book. Reading Vampire. Yeah. I can climb anywhere.
Yeah, right?
I love it. So good.
Yeah,
and then there's like retainers who are like specific people that are not criminals that can get you stuff.
Yeah.
There's the mask, which means like, hey,
I have just a list of all of them, or are they all in this?
It's all in this section, dude.
That's a little bit annoying.
I mean, it's just
I kind of wish that it was like listed out like this, but they also just had a list of each and every one.
No, they gotta explain each thing, man. Like,
yeah. Okay, so I've got 7 that I can spend on these advantages.
Yes.
Are backgrounds also technically?
Yeah, anything in this section until 195, because 195 is code recreation, and that's totally different.
Okay.
How would you know what vampires feel in sex? Pretty sus. Hey, shut up. Don't talk about it, okay? I don't know anything, okay?
Yeah, no, don't worry. He's an orc.
I didn't during the Halloween thing change my profile picture to be a vampire. No.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so let's see. Looks, flaw. Okay, so substance. Okay, so substance use.
Yeah.
Hopeless addiction. High functioning addict. Yeah, that's right. Archaic. No, can't take that. Bonding. You bond instantly with the taste of another's vitae. Only 1 drink of blood binds you, not 3.
It's fucked.
Yeah.
Somebody would have some power over you, dude. You did that.
Long bond, bond resistance, short bond, and unbondable.
Yeah, this is one of those things of like, maybe somebody in order, like another vampire that you meet at some point, right, that you do things for, you want them to do something for you, and they ask for you to bond with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd become subservient to them, but that could be just something that you could either like pretend, right? If you have a high a high resistance to your bonds, or to being bound, excuse me, or like, all that kind of stuff.
Stigmata, folkloric block, clan curse, oh yeah, I don't want that. Shunned by the anarchs, that wouldn't make any fucking sense.
That wouldn't make
At
any
least for
sense
me.
whatsoever.
Catenating blood.
Oh, that's all thin blood stuff. You don't worry about that.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, you're good.
Here we go, backgrounds, okay. Allies, weak mortal, average mortal, gifted mortal, deadly mortal.
Yep.
Shit.
Yeah, you can just have a person, right?
Yeah. Contacts. So does that mean that I could spend more points on my crims?
Yeah, you could have more criminal contacts, I guess. Yeah.
Oh. Or like a better one.
Yeah. Well, you have a better one, I think, don't you?
I have one, but can't they go up to like 4 or 5?
No, they go up to 3.
Oh, okay, so I already have the Jesus.
Yeah. I think, well, let me read it specifically, because it might say you have 3 points of contacts. 3 dots of criminal contacts. Does that mean...
So I just have a...
I wonder if that means you have 3 contacts, or 1...
No, it says that if I have 1 dot, I have 1 contact. 2 dots is 1 contact, and 3 dots is 1 contact who can do something expensive.
Yeah, I know. What I mean is, does it mean 3 separate dots of contacts, or does it mean 1 person of 3 dots worth, right? That's what I wonder. And I can look that up while I look at this. This character creation does remind me of Shadowrun. Oh, Basil, you never even got a session 1. Oh, I'm sorry.
Rip.
Okay. Let's see. What is this? This is Alley Cats. VTM. Yo. If there's anything. This here. Oh, that's not what I want. That's talking about that. Predator type. That one. Okay. Oh, this is using old stuff. Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay. Oh. Specific. I found something that says sigh as its first part. Like in fucking things. Heavy sigh. Oh my god.
Oh boy.
What the fuck is this? Okay, I'm gonna show this on screen. What the fuck is this writing of this?
Don't know.
Okay, hold up. I'll read it out the way that they've written it. It's fucking weird. They're very, like, sarcastic? Makes sense. All I knew about the not having sex thing was from a comment by a ghoul in Bloodlines in the PC. Even he was unsure how it worked. He's talking about rumors about a female Malkavian. Yeah. It is an amazing game. I'm playing through it again to, like, actually finish it. It's great. And yeah, I mean, you can... So again, yeah, it doesn't do anything. Like, you can't procreate as having sex as a vampire. There's nothing about that. You don't have to worry about that. But you can fake it, and like if you have high enough humanity, which she does not in that game. She does not. Yeah. She's high enough, but she does not have the one that actually makes you enjoy it. She's faking that shit. I know it. I know it. But anyway. This is a weird post. It's just like, starts with heavy sigh. Okay, I know I'm late to the party, quote unquote, with V5 since I just now got it, and I'm not gonna bring up the whole Sabat thing. I'm not gonna go off the rails into a tirade about Camarilla mains and Cam and Anarch's pandering devs or anything crazy like that. What the fuck is happening? I'm not gonna go into those Whose idea was it to make it so the Sabbat are linked to current real-world monsters ISIS thing, or the other horrific current event exploitation? What the fuck? It's fucking Vampire. Deal with it.
God. What a pussy. Jeez.
I'm not going to go into how I, as someone who lives in the Middle East, feel a little bit left behind in terms of the setting. Basically says my region is unplayable, unknown, and the clans that can represent you know what. Okay, fair enough. That's, it's not great that you can't really be, like, in that place, but you can just play in a different part. Like, you're fine.
Yeah,
like, not in a different place. I mean, like, make it so that that's not what's happening at the moment.
Yeah.
You're fine. Malkavian was my favorite playthrough in Bloodlines. I loved all the responses as a Malkavian.
Mm-hmm.
It goes fucking insane sometimes. It's great.
Yeah.
I love how this person is like, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there, and keeps bringing the shit up.
Even though they're by saying I'm not going there, you're going there.
Yeah.
You're bringing attention to it.
Yeah.
So anything about the number of shit that I get or what?
No, but they are talking about something about the points. So
then how about we just say it's one? It's one high-powered guy.
Yeah, I think it's one high-powered guy. I think
that's fine with me.
Oh,
how about this? How about this? I got an idea.
Yeah.
So for 3 points, I get one high-powered guy, and then if I get a 4th point, it's
you can
a high-powered guy and a weak guy.
Yeah.
And then if I get all 5, it's like a high-powered guy, a weak guy, and a middle guy.
Yeah. Absolutely, if you want to do that.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
If you want to have just a bunch of criminal context, that's fine.
Yeah.
I love how.
Okay.
This isn't my vampire. I don't want to be that guy, but no, I know.
So I want to do I want to do 2 points in influence.
Okay.
So that is on 187 and 188. So I will be influential. People want to do me favors.
Yep.
Okay, influential.
Which means
2.
Also, like, I think that's yeah, you get better social tests for people, I think. Let me see.
Yeah, any group in the city except your contacts and allies or other explicitly loyal supporters. Oh wait, no, that's the flaw.
That's the flaw.
Okay.
By default, influence applies most within one group or region of your city. Groups can be large, even diffuse, organized crime, media, religion, and police, city, governments, etc. Regions should be larger than neighborhoods, or all but the largest individual domains. Brooklyn and the River Gauche, the South Side, the Ginza, etc. Your influence applies to the city as a whole, at 1 dot less than it does within your group or region. Using local influence in another city in the same area, state, or province might be possible at an additional 1 dot penalty, and so on. So a vampire might be powerful in Hollywood, entrenched everywhere, in Los Angeles, merely influential. Oh, okay, so...
I see.
Yeah, okay.
Gotcha.
So the farther away you get from your main city, you're less influential.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
okay, but yeah, I'll take 2 points in influence to get influential, and then I want to do 2 points into Haven.
Oh, okay, yeah, you have a pretty good Haven.
Haven.
Yeah, a good size security or privacy. Examples: a single family home or row house, wolf enclosure at the zoo, branch sewer tunnel. Yeah, so you can specify however your Haven looks in something else if you want in your notes.
Yeah,
but that can be later. And you saw as well that there are points that you can spend to like upgrade your Haven, right?
Yeah, hidden armory, cell, watchman, laboratory, library.
I have one of my players has a Haven and he has haunted, and we've basically figured out, oh, it's just a poltergeist there who just fucking hates him. You just throw shit at him all the time. It's great.
Nice. I want to do location.
Okay,
nestled in one of the most fashionable or otherwise exclusive areas in the city, in the rack, on a small island, or otherwise in a prime spot.
Yeah, you can figure that out as well.
Yeah. Okay, so Haven dash location.
Yep. Cool.
So is that technically a third point into Haven, or
yes.
what?
That's it.
Okay.
Well, no, that's its own point, but yeah, it is basically for Haven. So
Okay.
just put another point.
I'm gonna put it on like the 5th one.
Yeah, sure.
So that way I have 2 pipped, 2 not pipped, and then the 5th one is pipped.
Sure.
That way I can keep track of all 3. So that is 5 points. So I've got 2 left.
So boo, your Haven is the Bat Cave, right?
It's not.
Hey,
It's the rat cave.
He
No.
didn't. He didn't take any protein. He can't become a bat.
Yeah, that's true. And then let's see. Okay, so that's influence in Haven. How about not hurt? I don't think. Mask. No. Mala?
Yeah, that's
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a person in your life who is like a mentor or something, right?
I see.
Who you can
Okay.
turn to, which you already kind of have, but
I'm gonna do middle class resources.
okay, yeah, resources 2.
2.
Pretty good. Yeah, the way that money works in this is just like if it's within your resources budget, basically, then we can go, okay, you can get it easily.
Yeah,
if it's
like
something
Call
that
of Cthulhu.
stretches it like to such an extent, I might take away a resource point, right? Because you spent too much, or you had to spend that, right? And then you're a little bit lower, but yeah, it's one of those things.
Okay. So I think I want to have flaw stalkers.
You want stalkers? Yeah, okay.
So I'm thinking instead of it being because they're putting it as like, oh, they like you and so they're following you. I think it might be interesting if it's like, man, I fucking hate this guy. He's tagging everywhere and covering up all my shit. I'm gonna fucking find him and get him arrested so we can't do that shit no more. You know, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay. So you want a stalkers who are oh fuck, what is it? Competing artists, like competing taggers. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Competing taggers. That's cool. Maybe they're from like another gang or something, right? Like, they're trying to tag the place, but you keep tagging in the best spots and shit. And they don't know who you are, and they're like, "Fuck!"
Yeah, it's like I can't fucking nail this guy down.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. How? And then the other one.
Was that 7? 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you have one more flaw point to take.
Yes. Dark secret infamy.
Yeah, that post that I found is basically somebody complaining about complaining about everything else, obviously, but also eventually got to the point of complaining about how they didn't understand flaws and advantages when it literally tells you what to do.
Okay, and I'm gonna take flaw prey exclusion.
Oh, okay. So what are you excluding? Who are you excluding?
That's a good question.
That is important.
Yes, it is.
This is just
this is who I cannot eat from.
Yeah, this is a group of people or something that you cannot feed from ever.
Okay, how about I don't want to feed from
human, ghoul, or vampire stalkers, or a fun mix. Ooh, that's true.
Could be.
Do you want them to be humans, ghouls? Like, we can figure that out, obviously. But
yeah, figure it out. I wouldn't mind if it was a human because they're like,
you can have a group of just humans that are just like
they're like,
taggers.
They're taggers and they're like fucking angry about it.
Yeah.
So now, how do I choose a prey exclusion on stream without looking like a fuck face?
Well, that's the thing. I'm pretty sure everyone knows. I've read it before. I'll say it again. It doesn't matter. This is a fucking game. It is a fucking fantasy. It is not a wish fulfillment fantasy, right? It is just, this is a part of the character.
Okay, so let's see. I am a tagger who basically, and for my haven, I was imagining it to be kind of like just an old abandoned building that I've moved furniture into, or like the upper floors that other people can't access.
Okay.
And I get up there through my parkour.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
And so I got like a couch up there, a fucking mattress, maybe a TV, and I'm like,
yeah, you might have electricity and shit. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, I'm stealing internet and shit.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm totally fine with that.
So, in that scenario, who would I not go for?
It would be ironic to exclude Blue Blood's opposite of most. That's true. I think I do have a player. No, I don't think. No. Oh, I have a player who has a character that hates the cops. That's right. They're playing a Bruja, though, so it super makes sense.
And I'm a Toreador.
Yeah.
How about ugly people?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Ugly people. Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't want to drink from people that I consider to be ugly.
Okay.
There we go.
That is totally fine with me.
Uggos.
Okay. All right. So.
Uggos and fatties.
Okay.
Uggos / fatties.
That falls under the thing for you. I know. It's fine.
What?
Okay. For like if you're a Toreador, so you want peak physical perfection. Basically.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the reason.
Yeah, no, I get that, and so like fat and ugly go together in that case. Then.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, I have to find attractive people, even though I'm not exactly like I'm like a mugger who fucking mugs hot people. It's like, hey, I want to drink your blood.
Yeah, you just go into the alley of the clubs when they're stumbling out of it.
Here's the thing: I actually thought of a
They must be at least a 7 for me to drink.
I'm going to be honest here. You're a 6, would not drink, would not suck.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they can get a makeover. They might qualify after. There you go. And don't drink anyone that is at least a B-lister and an 8 out of 10. Nope.
So here is how I imagine being able to use Alley Cat really well.
Okay.
If I go to a new city,
sure,
I want to do it like one of 2 or maybe 3 ways. But like I'm walking down the street and walking down the sidewalk, and it's like, hell, this could be like in broad daylight.
Well,
and
it won't
walking down the street, and I see a person. What?
It won't be in broad daylight because you die.
Oh, really? Do we take that kind of a damage?
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought
it
was
maybe like
Skyrim vampires. For a while. Anyway, okay. So I'm walking down the street, see a guy in an alleyway, or see a woman or guy in an alleyway,
Yeah.
And for some reason, they're very attractive in the alleyway.
Absolutely.
Don't know why. And I'll be like,
hey.
Hey, could you do me a favor? Could you take my phone and basically just kind of like film me? I'm trying to make a video. And they'll be like, yeah, sure. And then I do like some parkour shit. And then when I go back to get the phone, I like fucking karate chop them on the neck and then do it.
Thanks, man.
Or like what I do is I like stand behind them and I'm like aiming the phone, setting it up, and then
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. That's totally fair. Okay. So old editions, if your humanity was a perfect 10, you could go out in the daylight. So you can go out in the daylight for it does half damage to you technically in if you're at humanity 10 in this. I
see.
But yeah, and if you're a thin blood as well, it does half damage to you initially anyway. So
I'm not gonna get a lot of food, am I?
No,
if I feed in alleyways, oh shit.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's gonna be a bit difficult, but we'll see how it goes. When you go hunting, we'll roll through it. We'll see how it goes.
I just need to hang out in like popular portions of the city.
I mean, yeah, it's not hard to say like before the sun goes down, or the sun comes up. I mean, that I want to go over here and drink from. See if I can find somebody to drink from, and we'll see how easy or how hard it is. And then, you could use powers to maybe make it easier or harder, or somebody else could if you take somebody else with you.
There we go. I only have movement powers.
I know, but still. So next, we're almost done. So
take a job as a high-class hairstylist. Oh man,
only at night.
Calories for the buffet.
It's true. Okay. So, now it's time for your convictions and touchstones. So, there's a lot of examples of convictions on page 172. But you can make up convictions. These have to tie into a person in your life who is alive.
Okay.
So, basically, if you were to lose that person, you would lose a conviction. And the convictions, again, are if you do something with your conviction, you can incur less stains on your humanity, right? Because you're justifying it because of this conviction that you had while you were alive, right? And again, has to tie to a person, a human person.
Okay.
Yes, they have to be alive. And able to be gotten, because I can get them sometimes, baby.
Yeah.
Don't worry about feeding its Vampire 101 to establish hunting grounds. Exactly.
It's true.
Yeah, your convictions can be basically any kind of belief that your character had in life. So, like it has here, like, obviously, thou shalt not kill. Like, there's like the biblical kind of things, right? Then there's stuff like always aid women in need, right? You're a white knight, right?
Be a simp.
Right, you could be a simp.
I don't want to be a simp.
Right, exactly. You always respect this religion, or you rob from the rich and give to the poor, right? Like those are very basic convictions, but again, remember, they have to tie to somebody that you can lose.
Okay, so then how about...
And you have 1 to 3, so you can have as many as 3 or as little as 1.
Okay, so then how about before I was embraced, I was already part of a tagging thing, and now I'm just like better at it. And so how about my first conviction is somebody in my old circle?
Okay, so that would be your touchstone, but what do they represent, basically? What is your conviction that they represent?
To
Vampire simp equals vimp. Yep, that's true.
Oh my god. So like what conviction did I take from them effectively?
Basically, in a way, right?
Okay.
Like,
then how about don't destroy other people's art?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't want to destroy art. That is fair. Yeah, you respect art. Okay.
Yeah, so like respect other artwork. Others' artwork.
Yeah,
because,
and you can
like their art is in the eye of the beholder, and so
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that I like that as a conviction, sure. And that's tied to somebody in your old tagging crew, which we can flesh out later, obviously.
And then how about the second one was from a cop who tried to turn me straight?
Ooh, okay. So what did they represent then?
Only tag in safe spots. No.
Right.
No. What would I have taken from that?
Something orderly, something lawful in a way, right?
Yeah.
I would think. And that, remember, you gotta be careful that these things don't conflict with your personality.
Yeah. How about
stuff.
Don't create art in a place that could cause harm to people. So, like, don't, like, tag over a highway bridge or something and distract people and get them into a car wreck or something? I don't know, because, like...
So, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, so, again, let me think. Does your character have strong opinions regarding corporations or government since they are a tagger? Oh, that's a good question, actually. Are you against?
Like, really
are you
establishment?
Like, anti-corporation, right?
Well, I am in real life.
Well, yeah, but that's a thing you could bring over of like, anti-corporation because somebody in your family was fucked over by some kind of corporation, and now you. Like your your mother is still alive, or like whoever was affected is still alive, but they represent to you like how you would,
never tag to incite violence.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I like that one.
That's
okay,
a good one.
Yeah, that can still be from the cop.
Yeah. I like that one. You're only tagging in order to promote art. Yeah, instead of incite violence.
Art instead of being like fuck you or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I like that.
Don't.
Would you still be against people who retag artwork? Kind of like people who go over gang graffiti and make it beautiful.
Probably. It
Okay.
depends upon the original artwork.
True. Fair.
If it was essentially just like a gang sign and someone made it gorgeous, then yes. I mean, no, I wouldn't mind that.
Don't paint a nude woman over a roadway tunnel. Happened in California, if I recall correctly. I think they eventually covered it up because of potential accidents. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Gotcha.
Basically. Don't
Yeah, but
violence.
I don't know. This is the thing of like these have to be also things that you can kind of go towards to like not incur stains, right? And I like the idea of not inciting violence with it because that is definitely something that if you ever go against that,
yeah,
right?
Because that's like that could wind up becoming huge.
It could wind up becoming something that somebody. Yeah, it could be something that somebody wants you to do, right? In order to actually like make something better, and I like that. I like.
So I think I'll stick with those two.
Okay. Yeah. Fair. Okay. Well, other than that, let's just fill out your blood potency stuff. So with blood, it has specific things. So because your potency is at level 1, let me find blood potency really quick. 215. All right. So your blood potency, because it is level 1, on 216 we have a little chart here. So blood surges. You get to add 1 die. And you can make blood surges anytime you make a single skill check. It requires a rouse roll, right? And then if you succeed it, it goes through. If you don't, it goes through, but you're hungry, right? As usually things go. For that risk versus reward. And then you get to add just an additional die to whatever skill check you're doing. So that's what a blood surge does. Then your mend amount is 1 point of superficial damage per rouse check. You get no power bonus. And your your rouse reroll check is for level 1 powers only, which doesn't really apply because none of your powers require it, but it's good to know at least later. Just in case. And your Bane severity is 1.
Okay.
And your feeding penalty is nothing.
Okay.
And
then how about a power bonus? Nothing.
Yeah, no, that's nothing. I don't think. No, not until your potency 2.
Okay.
So that is it.
All right.
That is because you are a childer, you get no additional experience to spend, so you have no total experience. You have spent nothing. And the rest of it is just superficial. I mean,
like true age, apparent age, date of birth, date of death, distinguishing features, appearance, history. Yeah.
The only other thing, of course, is your clan bane. If you didn't put that in, which is if you're around ugly environments, you get a penalty to rolls.
Right. Ugly environs give roll.
So like, and that depends on if it's like penalties via smells or sights and all that kind of stuff. It all applies. So.
Oh, dude, yeah.
What's it?
Mach 0. I want to see Boop Beast crit killing someone, then using the poor soul's blood to make a mural at the site. Fuck yeah.
Jesus. That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be so good. Not very humane, but pretty cool.
Not very humane, but very artistic.
So yeah, that's your. What's your character's name?
I didn't name him. I'll probably come up with that later.
Yeah, fair. That's what I figured.
And so, what about Chronicles and Chronicle Tenants?
Chronicles are campaigns, and the Chronicle Tenants are a way to basically you just talk to your player. It's the session 0 stuff of like, what don't you want to do, right? It's literally I see. This is stuff that everyone would have to follow. Of like, I don't want to see any violence against children, right? Like that could be one of them. That none of that will be in the campaign, right? But that's all that is. So
cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you have your
boy, have a character.
You have your boy ready.
Yes.
For whenever we do this.
Yeah. The next 10,000 years.
Exactly. Justified stain. Fair.
Yeah.
Would you not consider that creating art that incited violence, though? Huh?
Well, it doesn't incite violence. The violence
it was
is the one
incited by
incited the art.
violence, I guess. You're right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I think that's it for today, because we've gone for about 4 hours and we've covered a bit of things. We've gone through how to make a character and a bit more about lore and stuff, and hopefully it all was interesting enough, because I'm very
and
excited.
next week we'll talk about 7th Sea. No, we won't.
No. Next week, in fact, we're going to talk Pathfinder, because we're going to have how it's played on. Dave from How It's Played. He was on before when you weren't here, unfortunately, but now you'll get to meet him. So yeah, look forward to that. End of the session, you have to make the hard choice of regretting the artwork or accepting it as an artistic expression.
Yeah, right?
Exactly. Remorse. Oh, nice, Pathfinder. Yeah. So that'll do it for us for today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, listening, and maybe even doing stuff along. Hopefully no tornadoes here tomorrow. Oh, Jesus, be careful. Holy shit. Opus is tagging the entirety of
Opus.
Nice.
And then basically the entire thing is like sideways, it's like going up along the building, and it just says dump towers. And that's it.
It's not looking good, dude. I hope you're all right then tomorrow.
Yeah.
Stay safe. But we'll
you show those wind elemental who's boss.
We'll end it off here. So thanks again, and thank you to specifically our patrons as well. Which we have 3 of you in the chat right now. It's crazy. Not that. There we go. Thank you to Draco Kusagi, Slazer, Steely, Drake Cross, Mog Zero, Chris, Frozen Spaghetti, and Kill Chrono. Thank you again very much. Remember, only become a patron if you're financially able to and you want to. Thanks again. You can catch us again, as usual, on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, on Fridays for the VOD at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mondays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the audio-only version on your podcasting service of choice. Check the description for everything else. We didn't cover a video today, so I'll just put Vampire Masquerade 5th edition core rulebook. Probably go buy it. It's great. I love it.
Yes.
And yeah, I think that's it. So thanks again. And we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. And that's it. No more. Cut.